I don't remember that one. You're not allowed to join this call. I think you'll have to add me.
You need me to invite you? Wow.
Hey, Andrew. Do you play Fortnite by any chance?
Nope.
Oh.
You guys gave up on PUBG?
No.
You're doing PUBG and Fortnite?
Yep.
Oh, my stars.
If I'm getting frustrated with Fortnite, I go to PUBG. If I get frustrated with PUBG, I go back to Fortnite. That's a good way.
Hey, it's Noah.
Whenever I talk on the screen. So.
Okay, cool. You guys want to roll to see us do the recap?
Hey.
Low roll does the recap.
Oh, gosh. Wait, did I roll?
Right. Take my first one.
I guess so. Doesn't really matter. Oh, all right.
We still got one more, right?
Kevin. Yeah.
Noah. Is it?
Or, sorry, Noah.
Come on. I don't remember.
R20.
R20?
No, 1D20.
Just remember.
D20.
But it's 6, right? When I was playing 40.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right.
1D40.
Phoenix. Oh, what the heck? Dude, it can't.
Hey, what's the roll? So I think I still win. Wait, what's going on?
No one needs to roll an actual D20, not a D40.
So we.
Oh.
All right, recap.
Mm-hmm.
What happened last week on Meager Beginnings was that we snuck into the town very stealthily and pretty stealthily. Probably wouldn't notice anybody. And we went to the tavern to stay the night and talked up some people, but we didn't necessarily see or notice if anybody was, I guess, what do we call it?
Brainwashed.
Indoctrinated.
Oh, indoctrinated.
And then after that, we lost some arm wrestling, and then we went to the temple in the morning, and Alden placed a spell on the statue. And now we're walking away from the temple after some really good conversation with the people.
That's right.
We learned that we don't really trust them anymore, I don't think.
Wait, is that really all that happened?
Really good
Yeah,
conversation.
because we couldn't figure out a direction to go. We were directionless.
Oh, and now we were planning on going to the guy. Well, Tom got really drunk.
Yeah, we're heading towards
The guy grapes.
Orland.
Orlean.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. There was a whole heck of a lot of conversation last time. And cool.
Cool.
Let's see. I should probably switch my roll 20 to the other one.
It's really strong.
It's nice to be on my computer doing this.
Yeah, they're pretty strong.
Next time on.
Okay, so what your characters would remember, since it wasn't 3 weeks for them, since this last happened, was that you asked, you had been asking around town for where you could possibly find some work. There wasn't too much, no one seemed very convinced that you were likely to actually find anything, but Orchard would say that maybe
It was like, why are you here?
you could go and check out if Orlane needed any help, since he's
Help.
kind of the furthest off near the swamp out of everybody.
It'll be another rat extermination quest.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, and so the directions that he kind of gave were head west out of the town, and then just sort of aim towards the furthest building in the distance. And if a new building shows up that's further away, then start following that one as well. Is that pretty much your plan? You're just going to take his instructions and attempt to make your way over to Orleans?
Well, whatever the party decides to do, I got my hand on Veneer, and I'm constantly focusing on my tether.
That's right.
Okay, so you're just constantly watching through that jade statue.
Mm-hmm.
Was in the temple. All right.
Did you learn to do that?
Yeah, I did.
Wait.
Okay. So you guys are making your way outside of the temple. You leave the doors. I think you left the doors to like the inner sanctum, and that's where Jack, shut up. Alden kind of immediately started watching through the statue, and he saw Misha kind of dip out of that main area and go back into the more rear rooms of the temple. As you guys are making your way out of the temple, you cross through the 20-foot high wall and the large doors, which are standing open as it's kind of the day is starting. It's still early morning. You weren't in the temple very long, despite how long it may have seemed. So you leave the temple, and the town is, kind of, it's a small town, right? So there's not really much hustle and bustle, but you hear the occasional clang of hammers or a closing of a door in the distance, things like that. It's a bright morning, sun cresting over the hill. As you make your way past, you recognize most of the buildings that you had seen the day before. Overall, just kind of a sense of abandonment, and not so far as to say desolation, but the town is run down, and most buildings are reflecting that. You come down to the place where you would run into Davis. You see, the stump where he had been cutting wood, but he and his axe are nowhere to be found. In fact, you still haven't seen anyone actually out and about. Take a right down the road, and you make your way out of town. So you cross by the Golden Grain Inn again, but continue on this path that leads westward.
Davis was the owner of that first farm we encountered, yeah?
Yeah, Davis was a young man who was working outside of a house near a farm.
So strapping shirtless youth male.
Yes, that's right. Male, shirtless male. I believe we clarified last time. Yeah, so you guys are making your way out of town, and as you do so, it's flat. Going pretty straightforward. The road is pretty well trod. You are passing by or see in the distance multiple farms, spread out, but you see the tilled farmland, the crops, various degrees of growth or harvest. Jack's a very verbal dog.
Run in the morning.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, but so you're continuing on your way, and no one really interrupts you. You see a few people come out of their houses and start working the fields, but it's pretty normal. You continue in this same pattern for about an hour or so, and your progress is slow, with Veneer trying to guide Alden. As Alden continues to watch through the statue, it is delaying your progress. Alden, as you continue to watch, you see, not too long after Misha had left, she comes back and returns through the door she had exited, which was kind of like the northwestern door, if you recall. And then she crosses the room and goes into the southeastern door. And then you don't notice her for quite some time. You guys are continuing on slowly. You notice that. Slowly, you notice that the terrain around you is subtly changing. It is getting damper. There are more and more insects. The trees, they're kind of in a cluster of trees as you left town, and they've all but fallen away. And you can tell that you are starting to enter the outskirts of the Dreadbog. So as you continue going, your progress slows even further, and Alden at this point, you would see, a townsperson or two that kind of enters, and when they do, Misha pops out of that door and goes up and engages them, and they come up to the dais and pray, and one throws in a few copper pieces, and they discuss, and then they leave. They don't go into any of those doors, which Misha has kind of marked as off out of bounds. But still, not too much has really happened. That seems out of the ordinary in the temple itself. So your progress is slow in the swamp, even slower than it would normally be, because at this point, guiding Alden is really kind of a full-time job, and if Veneer was not particularly inclined as a ranger to be good at these things, it would probably not be successful at all. And so even though Orleans Farm is not really that far from Hammel, it is taking you guys the better portion of the morning as you near, or as you continue to kind of aim at, whatever building seems to be out there in the distance.
During my sensing, I imagine like I have all of my other senses except for my sight. So I'm like, have we not gotten there yet? Why don't you just pick me up? No, actually, I don't say any of that because I would only speak telepathically and I have to see them, but I'm looking through my sensors, so never mind.
Are we there yet?
Yeah. Can I go ahead and say that?
Here it is. Okay, I was wondering where my certain notes were. Okay. As you guys get deeper and deeper into the heart of the swamp, you start seeing with more and more frequency pools of various viscosity, some with like that sort of scummy moss that you can kind of see growing in puddles floating on the surface, and there are like swarms of gadflies or gnats or various insects above them. These pools are interspersed on what is primarily dry ground at this point, but as you travel further and further, they account for a greater and greater percentage of the ground around you.
Alligators.
Yeah. Before long, you start coming across planks of wood that are lying across like these particularly sodden stretches and puddles, and you've started really getting to the point where you can't really see much of a building in a distance. But the last farm you passed was not Orleans and looked pretty abandoned, so you continued on. So yeah, at this point, like finding these planks lying across the road is encouraging, because it's like, okay, we're probably still on the correct path. You hear the occasional gurgle, ribbit, and buzz of a thriving, if unpleasant, ecosystem. But as you move in further, the most familiar noise quickly becomes that squelch of broken suction as your footsteps begin to sink slightly in with each step.
I was like, what?
As we hear one of the planks, can I like roll a deception and then be like, oh, there's no planks on this crossing, but the path like clearly goes through here. Have to walk through the bog. Please.
You sure? Yeah, go for it. I mean, yeah.
And elves they can walk on
We
water.
can walk on mud, yeah. Like
I think you're thinking Lord of the Rings there, guys.
Lord of the Rings. You think it's snow?
Yeah, that's also true.
Really persuasive.
Okay, I imagine your charisma is the same between or your benefit is the same between persuasion and deception.
Persuasion? No. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Alden.
It's probably the same roll.
Yeah.
What,
All right.
What do you want me to do?
I think nothing other than get a little dirty.
Yeah, because I'm literally not doing anything but following Veneer.
Yes.
So he's gonna be 100% persuade.
I think his focus is elsewhere, so he probably
Yeah.
Now, if he was following Karm or somebody, he'd probably be a little more on edge. But Veneer, like, yeah. So sure enough, Alden, you find the swamp is really. You have a hard time believing how Orlane could live so far away and have to make this journey whenever he wanted to go into town. But that's
Seems pretty strange.
it does.
Seems pretty strange.
Oh, there's a link over there.
It smells of nature, rich and unbridled. You guys that have been somewhat accustomed to unpleasant smells, especially with all your time in those troglodyte tunnels, and this is honestly quite a step up from those smells. Not as nice as the actual town of Hammel, or perhaps your day's journey over here, but by no means the worst smell you have encountered so far.
What?
Sorry.
What? Okay. Soon the path seems to disappear altogether. But thanks to Veneer's guidance, you guys are able to continue just at this crawling pace, make it eastward. After a short section with little to distinguish it, you make out some posts that are driven into the muck, and these seem to be serving as some sort of signposts to help people make their way deeper and deeper into the Dread Bog. And at this point, Alden, will you roll perception with disadvantage, please?
Okie doke.
20.
And Veneer, will you do the same?
Disadvantage.
I mean, is this a site-based perception? Because I wouldn't see it at all.
I'm not telling you that.
Well, I guess I'm just saying if it is, it would just be an automatic fail.
Right.
So we're taking the first.
Yeah, we're taking the first one for Veneer. Okay. So Veneer was leading you guys, so that's kind of why I gave him a perception roll, and then I gave Alden a perception roll for reasons that I will not go into. But
because DM.
Well, I imagine you'll probably figure it out.
I'm perfectly okay with because DM.
As something comes out of the muck and swallows me whole.
Ish. Trash monster.
Ish. Let's see. All right, so Veneer, you would have been still leading, even though I still have your. Oh no, this must not be correct. I need to go to the journal thing. I was pulling tokens on, and it said Jandar, which I believe was the first iteration of Alden's name.
Yes.
Okay, so with those rolls,
Yeah, we need a. That really.
okay, so I'm putting Veneer and Alden at the front because Alden was, holding on to Veneer, and Veneer was leading. Karm and Phoenix.
Are we supposed to be in a different map?
You will soon be in a different map.
Okay. What would you say about me?
Any Is there one of you who's typically in front of the other one, or you guys just? I'd say Karm was in front because he would have been, hanging out with Veneer more.
You would have lost way faster than I would.
Okay.
It's 2-0.
So you guys are traveling through the swamp, and because of kind of everything going on with Alden not paying attention and Veneer's own focus being somewhat
Wait, what?
distracted.
Huh?
By this guiding of Alden, you do not notice as some skeletal hands start, slowly making their way out of this muck. And next thing you know, as you look around, there are there's various skeletons that have climbed out of this swampy undergrowth and look very hostile and intent on you guys. So I think you should be able to see now. We're not going to give them a surprise round because essentially they're climbing out of the goop. You're going to notice at some point, but because of the poor perception rolls, you weren't able to really avoid being somewhat in the center of these groups. So go ahead and roll initiative and tell me. So you guys can see these guys, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, I see him on the map, but do I see him in game?
Is that a mushroom?
Yeah, you would see them in game. I mean, they're.
Yeah.
I think that's a mushroom. Yeah. I was trying to figure out what that was too. I use that map. I need to click the little turn focus.
Can we like roll perception to see if they're golden?
Yeah, I mean, you can just look and see if they're golden.
Can I look and see if they're golden?
Yeah.
They don't appear golden. Actually, but no, you're right. Go ahead and roll perception. All of you can, if you want.
I hate my rolls right now. Except that one.
Oh heavens! Okay.
You're welcome.
Yes, I'm so wise.
So,
So, Phoenix, I will just whisper to you and you can do whatever you want with that information.
I'm going to get 21.
He always does this shit.
Okay, so let me set the stage a little bit more. So you guys are looking around. You see, these three skeletons, which look kind of like regular humanoid skeletons. You also see skeletons. They don't look like that on the page, but they are actually supposed to be skeletons with these large horns, right? So they're technically like, so they look like minotaurs on the map.
Minor tours.
You're all gonna die, but they are still skeletal. Okay.
Skeletal with horns, as if they were a skeletal minotaur.
Yes, and they're larger than the other skeletons as well.
Well, is there places in the map where we can't move?
I cannot hear you actually.
Or is
You'll
this...
find out.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Because DM.
Because yeah.
I couldn't actually hear what you said if you were trying to ask me a question.
Yeah, like are there places where we can't move as fast on the map? Like these darker green shades or makes sense? Or is it just we're gonna play it like it's
Just tell me he'll find out.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys, as you've been walking through, right? I'm going to say no because I didn't. That's a great mechanic, and I probably should have thought about it. But I picked a battle map at random. This one actually looks like it would have done an okay job with being slowed down.
That would really hurt me.
yeah. I just don't want Karm to be the first skeleton.
You have an arrow.
A little bit. Okay, sorry. I need to roll initiatives.
Up. throw you up 360 and you no scope.
Yeah. Ladder. My wife. I take out this one. Put it back.
Oh shit. Okay, so Seth's seal serpents is only good for one use.
No, it's good for one use a day, and then it has it might break if the.
Well, it says if a restrained creature can make an action to make a DC 20 strength check to break the iron bands on a success, the item is destroyed.
Right. So if they break it, then
Molly.
it's good for one use.
Yeah.
There's like music in the background.
Yeah, Natalie's
Piano class.
Oh, gotcha.
We're OP.
AC went up one.
Okay. Alden, looks like you get first go here.
Okay, so yeah, that's all right. So I'm gonna use 2 points to cast Precognitive Hunch
Precog.
as a bonus action. Let me set that up real quick. Precognitive Hunch is there. And for my action, I'm going to thrust my mind upon a minor skelly behind us.
Which one did he?
The closest minor skelly to us.
This guy?
Yep.
All right, you thrust your mind at him. Oh, shoot. Let me do another thing go wrong.
Your skeletons that were previous miners.
Yeah. Well, that's why they were like the swamp.
Fine. I really wish I had more screen real estate right now. Like your 3 monitor setup, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, it's only 2 for Roll20, but 2 for Roll20 and 1 for Google Hangouts.
Okay. Okay, so you are attacking the skeleton with your it rolls a 1, so it does not resist
Yay!
that damage.
That's some good damage.
And yeah, that's a nice roll. Okay. The skeleton kind of disassembles actually after this assault. But you see whatever arcane energy, brought it back to life, slowly reforms it. So it's not out of the count yet, but you could tell that was a significant blast.
And my movement, I go there.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Okay. Carm.
Sweet. I'm going to. I'm pretty sure I can get. Here.
Fights are a lot different with only 4 people.
It is.
Okay.
I'm going to punch them skeleton right across the forehead.
You're gonna try.
You will try.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe you do. All right, yeah, you reach out and get a good solid hit on this guy. He buckles underneath your fist. Are you gonna?
I'm going to follow the second punch or second attack.
Oh, who would have ever seen this coming? Oh, all right. Yeah, and this one, that second punch, apparently the skeleton did not see coming. As very similar to, with Alden's hit, it's just like, whatever strings had been holding his bones together have broken and he kind of bursts apart, but he does not reassemble.
Woo! Nice. Oh, I see. It's the undead recovery thing that my guy did.
Halo.
I'm just going to remove him from the... Okay, it is now Minotaur's turn.
On the front one would be. Oh. Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Oh man, so I've been playing a different game recently, and the mechanics are starting to mess with me. All right, this guy is going to.
I thought this was the only D&D you ever played.
No, there is a different D&D game I'm playing, but I'm talking about a game that is not even D&D.
What is it?
Halo Wars 2.
So he is going to do the dash action, which is another full movement, correct?
Play that.
And get into range of Alden. No, so the other game I'm playing is like a tabletop game where you have two actions, but if your second action is a move, you only get half of your original move. And so I was like, wait, how far can I go?
Wait, Dark Souls?
No. All right, it is now the skeleton's turns.
Is it Zombicide?
No, but I've heard about Zombicide. Oh, what is it?
We're really good at Zombicide.
We're so
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay. Veneer, this skeleton is coming up and attacking you. And oh yeah,
dodge. Dodge.
With his short sword. Ooh, 17. So that's a 21 to hit.
Prone and my bonus action.
Imagine that hits.
Hits.
Okay, and then he
Because 21 damage?
No, that was just his hit. He does 5 damage.
Okay.
Okay.
What is your thief?
This guy is going to come up and attack Karm.
Hey.
Another difference is whenever you attack. Ooh, 16. So 20 to hit.
20 hits.
So, okay. And he does 6 damage.
6 damage?
6 damage.
Paladin. I need you.
No one's coming to me.
I know.
I need healing.
All right.
Oh, good.
This guy is going to attack Phoenix.
Yeah, there's still more people.
And with a natural 1, the Phoenix easily dodges out of the way. There's no...
Is he?
Or actually, Phoenix doesn't even dodge. The skeleton just misses
I
entirely.
see everything in slow motion.
Phoenix just kind of stands there and watches as the skeleton was like attempting to predict where he was going to go, and just jabs into the air. And then
He break his arm when he tried to hit me.
Let me breath him.
skeleton is going to do his dash action.
Dang it.
And the skeleton is going to do his dash action. And that ends the skeleton's turns. So, Veneer, you were up.
Oh my god, I just had an idea.
Pierce both of them.
I'm going to attack the guy in front of me.
Right.
Hopefully. And I miss.
Oh,
Yes,
ouch.
Both the swords.
I'm afraid that is a miss.
Sweet. And then I'll try again.
Dude, you have a +6.
Oh, man.
Also a miss. I guess you must have been embarrassed that like these guys got the jump on you or something, because you're not yourself today, Veneer.
It's the mud shooter.
Okay.
Grapple computer.
Now this Minotaur's
I
turn.
need to go get my other computer.
Okay. So it's been 3 weeks and I've started playing another game, so it's tough.
I can help you with the mechanics.
Yes, the fact that he's in combat, that Karm is currently engaged, does nothing for this guy avoiding and getting attacked by Karm if he attempts to run by. Correct?
Yeah, you'd have to. He can go around him if you want.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to just charge straight at you. So
Of course he
Karm,
does.
you get a attack of opportunity on him.
Is he going to like clothesline him? How are you going to do this?
Ooh, okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you you see this Minotaur kind of lowering his horns and charging, and as he runs
Are you
by,
making an attack roll against me, by the way?
yeah, it will be.
Okay.
You
I stick out my leg.
Yeah, you stick out your leg. Yeah, and he stumbles, but he recovers quickly and continues running. But
I would like to use my reaction to impose disadvantage.
Great.
I'm casting 2 points. I've already deducted it, and I'm casting the psychic parry. Nope, not that one. It's
Did you have a +6?
am I on the wrong? No,
Like a +6.
psychic backlash.
It's because my dexterity is 5.
for disadvantage on strike, and then if I still hit you, I take 14 damage.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Okay. Okay. So he is running straight at you, horns down, attempting to gore you, and he gets a 20 and a 13. So you dodged a critical.
Uh-huh.
But
And a hit entirely, right? Or
well, 13
You just
plus
rolled
6 is a
Yeah, that'll
19. So I imagine, okay, so that still hits.
and he takes 14 psychic damage.
I'll take 14 psychic damage.
What?
You take, I'll mark that now.
Remind me never to attack
Attack roll.
Callie.
Yeah.
This is oh, you don't know this, but this is how I killed my parents.
What?
Something just came.
I don't think I knew. Well, why not either? Okay.
No, yeah.
I was gonna come and help you, but I
Okay, so Alden, well, let me do this first, and then
Yeah.
Oh man, you're lucky. These are low rolls.
Yeah, because you can one-shot me, remember?
Yeah, he does. What are you at? Okay, you're still.
I'm full.
He does 18 damage.
oh my god.
Alden, you notice a few things. One, the amount of damage that you were expecting to have happen from this psychic backlash wasn't quite there. He stumbled, but you were expecting more, especially seeing that efficacy, how well it worked against those other Minotaurs. The other thing you notice with this guy now in your face, and I guess actually you might have noticed it on the other one as well. The one above you or north of you, actually, sure. Go ahead and roll. You can roll 2 perceptions since they're both there.
Then just actually, yeah. So I'll just roll 1 in it because it rolls twice.
Okay.
Perception, but add my precog punch to both.
Nice. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So first one you don't really notice. Second one you definitely notice that there seems to be well, not that there seems to be. There's definitely on this skeleton's forehead a blue gem embedded into his skull. And with kind of seeing the blue gem on this Minotaur skull, you recollect that other Minotaur skeleton that was attacking you seemed to have a red gem on his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's Thanos' gauntlet.
And then there's a yellow one and a green one and
The Power Stone. Well,
like
yeah,
another yellow one. Oh, is it orange? I don't know. Mind and something. I don't know. Anyway, Phoenix. You're up.
Yeah, I'm a move right here while getting attacked. Right next to 3 feet, right?
Okay, so he gets an attack of opportunity on you.
Yeah.
17.
18.
Okay.
I'm gonna attack the one to the north.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oof. You will not actually attack the one to the north.
It's all
Well.
dead.
I'm done.
Okay. Alden, you are up again.
Okay, I'm going to take the disengage action,
Right.
and I'm going to use my bonus action to do the thing where I move an extra 10 feet.
Okay.
And I'm going to do 5, Actually, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. That's my turn.
Okay.
This guy gets it.
Carm, you're up.
I'm gonna,
Oh, I need to minus this by 1.
Oh, I feel like man, in the hot zone there.
Oh, hey, okay. All right, so you're just attacking this one that's standing in front of you.
mm-hmm.
Very solid connection. You do your damage.
Oh.
Oof. Yeah, he is just standing. Two good solid hits, but the skeleton, he's like lost an arm, but he's still there.
Dang, I'm rolling really well.
Yeah, that was. Anything else for you?
I'm going to shift my position to here.
Okay.
Oh, why'd you do that?
You did it.
Yeah, you did it. It's fine.
Protect you. Hmm? Yeah.
Breath.
All right.
Wait, do you have lightning breath too?
No, but now he can attack me without provoking an attack of opportunity from you.
Oh, you mean leaving? Oh, I was mainly concerned that a bunch of stuff would come this way.
Okay, let me see here.
I will take the shielding from the Minotaurs.
I want to see you just run around in circles.
Is it the Minotaurs?
Run to here. Then to here.
How about if I swing Alden around like you do to a little kid while he like mind thrusts everybody?
Yeah.
Right now, it's a survival game for me. They want me, and I can't take another hit.
Okay, this guy is going to do a dash action.
Oh,
Phoenix, you get attack of opportunity on him.
Okay.
Oh, that was actually a really good placement.
Does that hit?
That does not hit.
Dang it!
Must be this other Minotaur that's kind of in your way. That is.
No.
Okay, it is now the skeleton's turn. We'll start out with this one will attack you, Phoenix. 15, so perhaps not. This one will get behind you and attack, so advantage.
Yeah, he is.
19 or no 18. 18,
I have 18.
and that meet it to beat it. So I hit, right? Or yeah.
Meet it to beat it.
So
Dang it. Whirlwind.
that's 3 damage to you. So watch out.
I'm bleeding.
Veneer, this skeleton will attack you. 14.
Miss.
No, miss.
Man, yeah, 15, I think, or something like that.
I leveled up. You said.
Yeah. Okay. So this one comes close, but it bounces off that armor. You try to dodge out of the way, but he finds you, but he can't get through. Let's see this one.
Oh, there's another one out there?
Yeah, that's the one that ran away.
Dude,
That one's practically
Right.
dead. It just needs a poke.
I was trying to help Alden.
And you did.
Everyone's finally doing his job. Thinking.
But not,
Don't run away from me.
he's taking 3 damage so far.
This one stands here and is going to shoot at you.
What?
With a short bow.
They have short bows?
Who?
I'm sorry, Karm.
Oh. Reaction!
Yeah!
All right, so he is going to get
Catch that
a 12.
I doubt that hits him.
use a reaction to deflect or catch a missile when you are hit by a ranged weapon attack.
Yes, you're not.
Yeah, but it probably missed you.
The damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10. Plus,
Yeah, but he probably missed you.
What's your AC?
Oh, do I have? Oh, so first it takes the AC first.
Yes.
What was the AC?
12.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I missed.
Sorry. How about I'll have him keep shooting at you? I think this is the only one left. He is going to come down and he is going to attempt to grapple Alden.
I would like to use my reaction to impose disadvantage on this skill check.
Okay.
So I'm going to minus 2 more points.
Dude, he's really
And casting Psychic Backlash.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But this is not an attack roll. This is grapple. So you mean the other one?
Grapple is still an AC check.
I thought grapple was a strength contest.
Yeah, strength. Well, I think he has the strength to beat my AC, or unless he, or do I just make an acrobatics?
We're going to use the attack action to make a special melee attack at grapple. Try to seize the target by making a grapple check instead of an attack roll. A strength athletics check contested by your strength or dexterity.
Then yeah, that's I put the points back because
Okay.
I didn't use it. So athletics
Or your
or
dexterity.
acrobatics.
Yeah, it seems like that might be better for you.
Oh,
Not really.
Oh, okay. Do you get the precog?
I do.
Okay. Ooh, 17. So you are grappled. Is there, a good icon?
He uses rib cage to kind of like close in on your body, like.
yeah, looks like
Yeah, sure. I mean, this one is very, very hurt. So, like, with some of the like splinters of his ribs left, he's like coming in for this bear hug, and they just happen to like get stuck within some of your, your cloth, your robes.
How do you
Um,
grapple?
Pardon me.
Another athletics contest
Okay.
for an action.
Is there a
Or
good
you kill the
icon
thing.
to?
I can make one. I
Be
can pick one.
He's
You can go
this
on.
looks like a fist, or he might be grabbing. Well, I need to remember that he's the one doing it too.
Oh, okay.
I'm just using whatever this. I think it's supposed to be a fist.
Sure.
Oh, you have a cooler fist. Where'd you find that?
I don't know. It's in the icons.
No, no,
Hey,
no.
just
you
do it.
need the-
Are you flicking me off?
Third row, third from the left.
Okay, cool.
You can do-
All right, Veneer, you are up.
I will
Kill that one.
kill the guy in front of me. Maybe.
One, the one that's next to him.
No, I gotta fight my own battles first. I'll attack him twice.
Ow!
Well,
Nice.
Wow. Okay. Will you attack him twice? Is the actual? Oh, I guess you technically will. Yeah. Solid connection. You like sheave off a good like 3 of his ribs and part of his arm. And you're going to attack again. And now you get some sort of like Colossus Slayer bonus thing, but it doesn't matter because you just took this guy out anyway.
Are they
so.
taking half damage from piercing?
Oh, it is piercing, isn't it? You're right. So hey, let's do that Colossus Slayer thing after all. Roll 1d6 5, so 10, 10. No. So you just got up to what you did, what you would have done if Alden wasn't so honest, or Andrew, I guess. Okay, so I mean, this guy, he's looking what he normally does, but he's still a barrier to you. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Oh, he's not dead.
No, I'll be. Well, can I just move to the bottom side of this guy?
Yeah.
And that'll be it.
Noise.
All right.
Noise.
This big Minotaur, huh?
Flip over, twist his neck off.
Go ahead and take your opportunity attack, Phoenix.
Okay. Does that hit?
That does hit.
So one of my feats is as soon as it hit, the creature's speed becomes 0 for
Oh, no! Yes!
Then I'm gonna cast Divine
Okay, so you would have been there trying to leave from you.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna
Only
cast
an opportunity.
Oh man.
Wait, you
That's not right.
cast it on your opportunity.
Okay, I didn't do that right.
Yeah, I hope you didn't do that right.
Okay, I'm just gonna do.
D8
Wait, what was it?
It's
plus 0. I mean,
There you go.
he rolled a 3 and a 4. So, it's 3d8. Okay.
Because one extra 1d8 for undead.
Right.
Yeah,
If it is undead.
it is.
It is.
That's what I was trying to do on the first Minotaur, but missed.
Okay, so that would be the 4 slashing, but not as effective.
You can add Divine Smite anytime, huh?
Yeah, we lost Noah, but he's back.
I made that.
And then 17, so that is a massive amount of damage. So this guy, he's attempting to ignore Phoenix yet again, or maybe it was the other one. Who cares? He sees his Minotaur buddy so easily disregarding this guy earlier and thinks, "Oh, sure, I will do that too." But this time, as he goes to run by, Phoenix takes his sword and just directs it straight between those two bones you have in your leg, which are totally a real thing if you're a Minotaur, and plunges it into the ground, trapping him with his sword plunged into the ground. Phoenix mutters some sort of strange incantation, and it blares up with this white light. The Minotaur lets out this guttural, howl as it is seared by this holy energy. And it is stuck and very damaged. This bony howl, is that what you want? Not exactly.
Rattling howl.
This rattling howl. Okay, yeah, so that's all it can do. It is stuck right there. And Phoenix, it is now your turn.
Yeah.
It's not dead. Huh?
Minotaur.
You're not dead. Kill him.
Oh, good. Wow.
Wait,
Yeah.
is he? No, he's not. He is facing away from me, right?
So you're short.
Yeah. Does that? I mean, I don't think there's a mechanic where that really matters. All right, you follow up with still a large amount of damage. And a Fiend Bleed is magical, so it cuts through what might have otherwise been substantial defenses. All right.
Wait, does it do double damage to?
No fiends.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it doesn't do.
It just
double
blows.
damage.
That makes sense.
Okay. Anything else you want to do, Phoenix?
That it? Is he still alive?
He is still alive.
Wow.
That's the first time he was hit. Well, second, I suppose.
Well, he did get hit for like 20 damage.
Yeah.
32 damage.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alden.
I would like to use my bonus action to switch my focus to the one that makes me not have disadvantage on ranged attacks.
Oh, okay.
And then I would like to make a ranged attack in melee with the guy grappling me.
Okay.
Another long
Oh, man. But that's still a 13 to hit.
Their armor class is 13. Wow, what a nice
Nice.
precog hunch
Yeah.
for you, man.
Mhm.
All right, yeah, you managed to somehow pull out your crossbow, and despite
It's a sling.
your sling. Oh wow, you did this with a sling. So at this point, you're pretty much just using your sling like a mace. Not so much like a sling.
He held it in front of him more.
But it is effective, and this skeleton that was barely hanging on to its life does so no longer.
Yes! Okay, so I will take off my thing, and then I'm going to use my movement to go there.
Okay,
Nice.
Carm, you are up.
Sweet. Will I get advantage just by going down one block?
No, if you go over to the corner, I think the way we've been playing it is they have to actually be on opposite sides.
Gotcha. Then I will go right there, and then I will take action to attack.
19.
Wow. Okay. It's a good aim, but you must have sacrificed, a little power to actually make that connection.
Then I'll take a.
I'm grabbing some water. I'll be right back.
A flurry of those. Like 1 key point.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Okay.
Okay. Then. Second.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
This. I have a thing, racial trait called Savage Attack.
Okay.
Or a critical hit.
Oh, crit! Very nice.
That tier.
100 weapons damage dice one additional time. And add it to the extra damage of the critical hit.
You score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, but so this is your unarmed strike.
Yeah,
Right.
Matter.
So I don't feel
What's
like
the question?
Would an unarmed strike be a melee weapon?
What's the end goal that's trying to be achieved?
Savage attack. When you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice one additional time and add it. Sure.
Yeah,
You're punching very savagely. Go for it.
His arm is a weapon.
So that's just a D4.
Yes, sir. Okay, I mean, it's
Nice.
about what you could ask for. So that would be a total of 12 damage.
I got one more unarmed strike.
Okay, but as you strike this guy, you see this gem on his forehead kind of flare up, and this is the Minotaur with the red gem. And as it does so, you kind of feel the bones harden underneath your fist. And so while he's definitely still taking the hit, you can tell that he is taking less damage than he would have had he been just a normal skeleton.
Can it take a DC save for dexterity?
Okay. And what is the 2 versus 11? Your wisdom is still mod. Your wisdom mod is still 1. Is that true?
Yeah.
With the 16, he's going to stay standing.
Okay. Going to attack again.
Oof. Right. Wow. All right, roll another
Nice.
4.
Wow.
Do I do another 4?
Savage.
5, 8. Okay. Same sort of thing happens whenever you make this contact. This red gem flares, but you're still punching away. You're gonna do some other crazy open hand technique thing. Same. Don't even make the same save.
Ready saving throw.
What is Savage Attack from?
It's from Works. Half Works.
So he rolled an 11. So he meets your DC to beat your DC.
Yeah.
Fine.
Wait, I think John's DC meets his to beat his.
Yeah.
Meet it to beat it, right?
Yeah, very close. I mean, if you keep getting rolls like you have been, it's only a matter of time.
Okay, and I think
That's awesome.
that's it.
Great. This big guy is going to attempt to grapple Alden.
Okay.
I should have grappled him.
17
All
total
right,
for
I
me.
need to roll acrobatics.
Yeah, 7. Do you grapple somebody and attack them at the same time?
Hey, boom!
Like you
All right.
What? Take that.
Wow. Yeah. You definitely saw that coming and easily duck out of this way. Heavens.
Only once.
All right. It is now the skeleton's turns.
No. Which one?
We'll just kind of start at the top and go the way down. So this one's going to attack Phoenix with advantage. 17 doesn't quite hit you, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So annoying.
Next one is going to attack you. 19, I imagine, hits you.
Oh. Oh. I take 2 damage.
I take 2 damage.
You take 5 damage.
Oh. In your face.
That's what you get.
I'm losing an arm.
All right. This next one will attack Veneer.
Kevin's 3.
Yeah.
Oof, with a 1, it does not get anywhere near hitting. Was it that skeleton that missed earlier? Like it's still just convinced that you guys are going to try something tricky?
No, it hit me earlier.
Okay. I know one like totally missed Phoenix, and I wasn't sure.
It was the one to the south of him.
Yeah, it's the one that's using a short bow right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this one's no longer going to use the short bow. He's very convinced that his theory really
tricked
does
me.
work.
He said he wasn't going to use the bow.
But he likes this idea of getting on both sides of you, and so he will attack with advantage.
Any battle, you just have a line.
Time for my lightning breath.
Oof! Natural 20. Okay.
Let me check real quick.
Ooh! So he does 11 damage.
Oh!
Fine.
All right, Veneer.
I'm gonna try to finish off the guy in front of me first.
You definitely connect, and if it wasn't for the fact that do your Colossus Slayer.
Wait, but it doesn't kill it.
Well, with your Colossus Slayer, it will. So I guess who cares, right?
Unless he gets 1 damage.
Even then, it would take it up to a 6, and I divided by 2, and he had 3 left.
Now, it's up to you, I guess, but I don't know if the Colossus Slayer would be halved. I don't know. I actually just don't know how to rule that.
Well,
Yeah, I was.
It's from him yelling Colossus Slayer.
Bam! Colossus Slayer!
Psychic damage?
It's like a shout in Skyrim.
I'm going to turn on the air conditioning in here real quick.
It's like a shout.
It's one of those classic situations where you call out your different named attacks. Yeah, Colossus Slayer!
I'll move there.
It's super effective.
And
Hey, I need some help up here.
it'll be fine.
3v1.
Attack this guy. No!
Oh, very nice.
It's half.
But without looking it up, Colossus Slayer, I would assume, is doing the same type of damage as the original damage. So in this case, I still have it. Doesn't matter. And then Veneer moved, and we're just continuing our
Yeah.
Connect 4 defense strategy or whatever this would be. Is there anything else you're doing, Veneer?
No, I'll be done.
What was that?
I'm done. Sorry.
Cool. So, okay. Big guy. I guess he's going to attack Phoenix now because he didn't like what happened last time.
Come on, move!
Let's see.
This one's
These guys are equipped with these huge great axes, right? And whenever Alden was hit, it was the impact of those horns that was doing the damage. But now this one is bringing his full weight to bear behind the swing of this large bone axe. Looks like it might even have been made out of the skull of another one of these Minotaur skeletons that didn't do quite so well. And with a 20, not a natural 20, but an overall 20, he will hit.
This is gonna hurt.
It'll probably hurt. And he will do 13 damage.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go save Kevin.
What? I just
Turn it on.
Wait, you can heal yourself though.
He can heal himself.
Just turn into a little. Just hide in your armor until we get there.
Just touch yourself a little bit.
Let's
All right, Phoenix, I believe you are up.
Kevin just took 13 damage.
From what?
A big axe. Minotaur. Minotaur.
Minotaur.
Minotaurs and the Minotaur skeletons.
So what is Phoenix doing? Nothing? I couldn't hear that. I'm sorry.
I think I'm gonna heal myself for 10 HP.
What a scaredy cat.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll come. Maybe I'll come help you.
I mean, I'd just like to point out that the guy you're calling a scaredy cat is currently fighting 3 of them, while the other 3 of you are collectively fighting 2 of them.
Oh,
Well, he has more AC than all of us combined. So.
Oh, I see. I understand.
okay.
The 2 of us are saving the one of us.
Super important one.
And the one of us is saving the 3 of y'all.
Okay, so that's you're not gonna like try to run away from these guys or anything, Phoenix?
Do it. You could take a ton of damage and die. Yeah, come help us.
Put your back against someone so you don't get...
How many hours do you attack Mike?
You could take 3.
Oh crap.
Take your disengage.
He already healed with his action.
Oh,
Yeah, you're in trouble.
No, I'm just sit here.
I'll see you at the main menu.
I'll see you at the last screen.
Oh, well, I'm sure they'll remember your sacrifice.
You are a paladin. That's your job.
They're gonna come and steal my body. Take my stuff.
Okay, I think then we are at Alden's turn.
Okay, I would like to take the disengage action and use my bonus action to increase my walking speed by 10 feet.
Okie doke.
5, 10, 15,
Oh, God, just going out of the screen.
Go ahead and just do it off of the screen. It's more swamp.
He runs in the woods.
That's my turn.
Okay. Carmen, it's now your turn.
Where do you go?
I don't know. I'm going to turn around and hit the skeleton.
You're hitting the little guy?
Yeah. The minor skeleton.
Hey!
Lee, man alive. All right. Yeah, this guy crumbles.
Sweet. And then,
Have you rolled any of your attacks under an effective 20 yet?
No.
That's the way we like it. Don't complain.
Oh, there's 119. I see.
Wait, but that's got to be with advantage. Oh, never mind. Okay, I'm going to then follow that punch with a 360 haymaker. It'll be 180. It'll be 180.
This helicopter.
Missed. There you go.
Oh my word.
Oh, there it is.
I think it actually was a 360 haymaker. Okay, so that's it for you.
That is it for me.
All right, Alden, go ahead and roll perception.
I really don't want to.
Disadvantage.
There's one skeleton out there.
In this
All right.
I believe in a
18.
18, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Even in the midst of all this battle, or I guess 15, because I think I said disadvantage. I don't know. Whatever. Even in the midst of all this
15.
battle, you feel this vibrating coming from your pack. And that's it. Okay.
That's it.
Thanos is calling.
All right, these guys also just naturally have a move of 40, so he's chasing after you. Carm, go ahead and make the opportunity attack.
Okay.
Oh, I get attack of it.
You have anything that slows movement?
Can I use my impact Cestus ability?
What does it say? I don't even remember. This will be like your first time using it ever. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Wait, everybody just left.
Oh gosh, darn it! No, you technically can't. Sure you can. These are large undead, but I wasn't paying attention, so I've been playing them as medium dead the entire time. So sure.
Oh, well, that's why I've been missing my attacks.
I'm so sorry. Okay, once per long rest, you can roll an additional D4 of damage, so go ahead and do that.
No, you need to fail more than 5 so you can knock prone.
Oh, that's clever.
So that is 10 total damage, but that's going to be cut in half because of his red gem.
Too bad not knock prone.
And then 8 plus 2, so a 13.
Yeah.
These guys are like super strong though. Woof, but a 4 is really a bad roll. So with an 8,
He's more than 5, so he's knocked prone.
if they fail by more than 5, right?
So yeah, he's knocked 5.
No, he failed by 5, right? Because an 8 to 13 is a difference of 5.
Oh, I forgot to.
More than 5. All right.
5 or more.
That's too bad. That would have been really cool.
That was
I think
okay.
for the 5, they're also.
So he kind of gets like this boost from Karm as he's facing after Alden, and you see him almost trip over his feet with this unexpected impact.
Oh man, so close.
But he just manages to recover, and is going to attempt to grapple you.
Wait,
Oh, it's a grapple? Okay.
won't you
Like ring around the rosy with this.
push him 10 feet down?
Oh, you want him pushed directly away from you, and he was at the corner. Is what you're saying?
If you push him 10 feet down, then he can't make it.
5.
Yeah, you can.
He has 40 feet. Wait,
Nope.
I kind of like looked him.
Yeah.
like backwards.
I'm afraid not. All right.
Yeah, he like jumped off a rock.
Okay, so acrobatics for you, Alden.
Come on, 20.
I got a 14.
Oh yeah.
Ah! You slippery
They're trying to carry all the way.
Oh, yeah.
weirdo. Okay.
Alden,
Veneer.
All right,
yell out something.
do your stuff.
I'm gonna.
What?
I like it.
So if you go over 1 square, you'll have advantage. There you go.
I'll attack with advantage. And he's already been hit once, right?
He's been hit a few times, yeah. Okay. You connect. You don't see any blue flaring, but he is a skeleton, so he still gets piercing damage. Still isn't that effective against him. This guy is not bloodied, but he is cracked, or whatever you would say, and he's actually been cracked for a while.
I'd like to attack again.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. You hit again. You're literally chipping away at him. Hey, that's how this works. Anything else? I don't think you can do anything else, right? That's action, bonus action, and movement.
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh boy.
All right.
Should have tackled him. That would have worked.
Grapple.
You should have stabbed him in the other leg.
Yeah.
You know, I hope. No, if I was you, I would seriously consider multi-classing into rogue.
Rogue?
Yeah, if you have
What you're trying to do is what you're trying to play is a rogue.
Yeah.
which is totally fine. I just, you know,
Noah dropped.
I'm like, well, it makes a lot more sense for this big guy to hit the skinny little elf than the shiny dragonborn. So he won't have advantage, but that's still what he's gonna do. So
Google Hangouts keeps crashing, so
Attacking the elf.
if you guys can still hear me. Cool.
Yeah.
all right, he's bringing his great axe down towards you this time.
Hey,
No.
so we attack. I'm gonna take
What?
again my feet. Whenever a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against a target other than you, I get to make a reaction. It's making me melee weapon attack on him.
Wait, what? Dang.
That's the sentinel feat still.
Oh yeah.
So within 5 feet, which is the Minotaur attacking someone else, I get to make a reaction attack on him. That's the whole point of taking this feat.
Hey,
Yeah.
next time I'm gonna go with Kevin and tank for Kevin so he can attack.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make your attack.
Does that hit?
It does not hit.
Oh!
I'm sorry. Okay, this guy is swinging it now at Veneer. That's an effective 19, so I think he hits you.
Yeah. Barely.
Oh man, I'm gonna kill him before that.
Don't kill me. Don't die.
Oh, I don't know why I'm rolling. Oh, I do know why I'm rolling too. That's just how much it does.
Okay.
On a dice.
Okay, that's going to be 12 damage.
Ooh, I'm still alive.
Okay, and now he is going to.
Is he moving?
Yeah, he's moving. You
All right.
already used your reaction, so you can't make an opportunity attack, but Veneer can.
Take your opportunity.
Yeah, let's get him.
With
Wait,
your-
do I get my little damage boost to this?
I imagine it's like. Well, I'll look it up. Let's see if you hit first.
Are you use your bow or your sword? Swords.
Oh, nice.
Okay, you do indeed hit. Colossus Slayer. When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, the creature you can only deal this extra damage once per turn.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not going to be a new turn yet, so I'm afraid not. Okay, this guy. Yeah, I mean, you are continuing to chisel away at him, I suppose. All right, Phoenix.
Oh, I still got these skeletons here. I'm gonna attack the one to the north.
Okay. You are going to connect with the one on the north and do a good chunk of damage as you slice through him like butter because of your fancy magic sword.
Like butter.
Oh, that was the one to the south. What am I doing?
And that is it.
Okay. Alden.
What will it cost me to take the skull out of my pack?
It'd be an action because it's on your back. It's not going to be like a pulling a sword out or something.
Yeah. So I move there and I take the dodge action.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, it's my turn?
It's your turn.
Wait,
I
the
will
skeletons here.
run right there behind them.
Oh, because you are also
Woo! Love it.
you. So speedy, running all over the place.
Us speedy guys, we gotta stick together.
I think the Minotaur might be about to decide that it would just make more sense to kill you two than keep chasing you down.
Yep.
Kill green one first.
I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use my short sword this time.
Ooh.
What the heck?
Oh, I see something.
Ooh.
Holy cow, John! Right, you're extra D6.
And yeah, your extra D6. Oh,
That's a D4.
Oh, it's D6. That's right.
Wow. Wow. Now, if you get a 6, I'm making you re-roll it.
oh, that's mean.
Oh boy.
Oh, are you joking? Just so I remember when I'm watching this later, he just rolled a 5, so he doesn't have to re-roll it. Okay, so that's an effective 12, but it's slashing, so that's cut.
That slashing.
I switched it up from bludgeoning to slashing to see if it does more damage.
Well, I mean, you got to roll a d6 instead of a d4, so it's still an overall win. What else would you like to do? And at this point, this guy is still looking pretty good, actually. He hasn't taken like 30 damage in a single blow or whatever from Phoenix.
I've just been kiting him around.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to knock this guy prone.
So you're going to flurry of blows?
Uh-huh.
So you are flurrying of blows? Yeah. Okay. Because you haven't like said that yet. But
I did. I guess it was me.
well, you said it. You said it to me, so I'll do it. But just normally you put the little thing out there. So, okay, yeah, that is a connection.
Sweet.
So dex save. Is that right? I need help. You might need to put a little thing out there. It's an 11, or I get knocked prone or something.
Yeah, it's 11.
Oh, not rolling a d12. That's not fair. 8, and it's dex, so I'm prone.
Hey.
Hey.
Now, when he's prone, do I guess when I all attack?
You have advantage on it on attack.
Melee attacks.
Oh, I see something.
Oh my god! Jesus! How many crits have you rolled tonight? Like 5?
Man,
Like a twin
It's
chicken.
not even the crit on my
my
second roll.
yeah.
Man.
okay.
He's hacking.
You're punching him while he's down, but okay. Yeah.
What a man he is.
Yeah.
Like attacking Iron Man.
Okay. He's starting to show some real signs of wear over here. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I can't do anything else.
Any more hits?
I guess I can knock him back 15 feet or 10 feet.
Into me. Thanks, man.
All right. He's going to consume half of his movement to stand back up.
I get an opportunity.
Not from standing up. And he is going to attempt to grapple Alden.
Does he make this a disadvantage because I took the dodge action?
If that's what dodge action does, then yes, he does.
Well, I'd have to look it up. Because that's usually how I'd roll it, but spell casting, saving throws.
Explicitly. You focus entirely on avoiding attacks. Any attack roll against you has disadvantage if you could see the attacker and you make dexterity saving throws.
Dexterity. Okay. That's fine.
I'm like an ant that won't go.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think that'll happen.
Like
oh, that's probably going to get me.
Yes, this time you are grappled with his effective 15.
All right.
You can almost hear this skeleton minotaur going, "Stay still, you freaking little."
Hey, I had to give myself some way of survival when I can't roll for HP.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Veneer, you're up.
I'm gonna shoot this guy who's running away with a bow.
How dare you? Oh, yeah. See, this is why you need to shoot stuff, apparently. Oh, yeah. So that's 17. That's 8 damage. Golly, this guy is on one, just like charred leg with, cracks running through it. You can tell there's some sort of mystical energy which is keeping that leg as functioning at all. He has an arrow sticking out of one of his horns, which now also is cracked. And he's just.
I'll chase this guy too.
He's
Why
not
do I still have 2 skeletons?
enjoying things. Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't. Guess he can't do a lot of damage.
All right, he's going to attempt to leave, so go ahead and do your opportunity attack.
Yeah. Can I go with a bow?
No, well, I mean, if you want to be at disadvantage, I guess.
No. Oh gosh.
Oof. All right.
Oh,
Man, you guys are. This guy is.
We just do a little bit at a time.
He's like limping along. But he gets here.
Where'd he go? Oh.
All right, Phoenix.
Why do I still have these guys around me?
He was able to get. Oh, did he take the dash
He
action?
dash, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna continue attacking the ones who are me.
Oh.
There we go.
Which one are you attacking?
You stay there with those skeletons.
Which one did you attack?
North.
All right, he's.
Thank you.
Bites the dust.
Does it take an action to turn?
Minotaurs.
No, you can just turn around. What did you say, John?
Oh, sorry, I was just commenting
What were you commenting?
about the other one running all the way down.
All right, Alden.
Okay, so south one does not look too hot, yeah?
He looks very much not hot.
Okay.
Pass me the puck.
Bonus action, I'm going to cast Speed Dart. My action is to throw a rock at South Minotaur.
Okay. What is speed?
You
Oh,
see it
speed.
there.
Holy cow. All right. 4 plus 2 plus
So much math.
2.
2 is not to damage. The 2 is just to hit. It's so 4 plus 9.
13, 6.
13 damage. Unless it's halved.
No, it's bludgeoning. Well, it could be because it's not magic, but
Yeah.
Okay. So as this stone, starts glowing this purple,
It's
and you then bring it down on his head, even though it's in a sling. You see his blue gem flare up and crack.
yes,
As he crumbles into dust.
that is exactly what I wanted to have
It
happen.
disappears.
I mean, he's on the ground.
Someone stole my kill.
Does the gem like dissipate?
Yeah, you said it cracked.
Yeah,
Well, it cracked.
him has cracked. He has kind of crumbled into ash. But if you guys are concerned about, I can do this instead. I'll race over and.
No, we want the little power stone.
Yeah. I mean, I fitted it into my impact cestus.
Yeah.
Oh, again. Is that the power stuff?
I'm gonna put it on my third knuckle.
Okay, Karm. Is there anything else for you, Alden?
No.
Okay, Karm.
I would like to use the fold.
Ha!
Oh.
You missed! No, you don't! Dang it, you crit!
He does another what? 1d6.
6.
Oh! Crit for days.
Oh my stars!
Is
It's okay. It's so funny though, because you like crit and then you still do like 6 damage. It's like, okay, so 9, 15, so 7 total damage here. But go ahead and do 7 damage 2 more times.
I would like to spend another key point.
oh, 20.
Well, no crit this time. Sure.
Prone.
He has like 5 things he does.
So what are your key points at? I mean, you've been
That has to be his last one.
Or I burned 3 in this one battle.
okay. So this is another Dex at 11.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens if I'm grappling and I go prone? I will have to figure that out. Doesn't matter. I roll an 11.
Alden goes prone with him.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. Stop. Okay. Takes 3 more damage and gets to roll another 11, right?
Yeah.
Four. Okay.
Oh! So now I go down.
I think you guys go down together. I don't see why he would successfully
It's up to you.
What a chance to break out from his.
I mean, they're like, yeah, grappled. Him falling over is going to bring Alden down more than anything else.
Okay.
Okay. This guy's turn. While you guys are on the ground, he is reaching for your pack.
Mm-hmm.
And attempting to, kind of like hold you in one position and rip your pack off of you, if he can.
So is this a contested roll? Is it May AC? What are you doing here?
So I was going to have a strength check for the Minotaur, primarily based off of the strength of your pack, not your own strength.
Mm-hmm.
So we can talk DC, but I'm thinking it should be a pretty tough thing. Packs are made to not be broken. So my plan was to give him a DC of 20.
In his pack.
Okay.
I mean, we can.
I'm only asking questions. I'm not giving suggestions.
Okay, all right.
Sweet.
Did it break?
25.
With a effective 16, your pack remains securely fastened to your back.
Hey.
All right.
Okay, and he's not going to try to stand up because I think that would essentially break the grapple. So Veneer.
Yes. I'm going to shoot at Kevin's guy to try to help him out a little bit.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm really nervous about hitting
Long.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
When can you shoot 2?
Yeah.
Yes, I will run closer to Kevin.
Okay.
It's like that's too many.
Is that as far as you can go?
Yeah, I had to go back one.
Oh, okay. All right, Kevin.
Oh, great.
The skeleton is hard to kill.
There goes.
Oh, you already okay? Yeah, I like John's description. Plunged straight through his ribs.
Kevin, don't try to stab it.
All right, Alden.
I would like to make an acrobatics check to get out of the grapple, if you'll let me.
Absolutely. Oof, 18. All right, yeah, you definitely you slip right out of his 2.
And I use half my movement to stand up. And I'm going to mark down one more precog hunch tick. And so if I move away, will he have make an attack roll at disadvantage?
I think so.
Okay, I do that.
Like
I move away.
I guess, yeah.
Because he's on the ground, right?
Mhm.
Stand up. Move across.
I think this is one of those homebrew rules
No,
for you to decide.
Yeah, he definitely cannot attack like a normal person when he's on the ground, especially unwillingly.
With me, like, just with my fingers.
Okay, so essentially how I'm going to play this is, like part of the reason that you were able to so easily get out of the grapple is he was too busy trying to root through your pack and get your pack out and not hold as much of a good grip on you. Kind of the same idea then would be that he's not actually capable of going after you with his great axe, but he is going to attempt to clip you with his horns as you run.
Okay.
And 17, so probably
it hits, but I'm going to use my reaction to cast.
Oh, wow, 17 at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
14.
Okay, that doesn't hit.
Yes.
Oh,
Good job, John.
Good job, John.
That guy's
I
almost
just
as good as me.
wow, he's really good.
So my movement will actually be. So I didn't use my bonus, so I'm going to use my bonus to increase to 40.
Okay.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Well, but so you used half of it to stand up.
Oh, you're right. So 5, 10, 15, 20 there. That's as far as I can get.
Okay. Carm.
What's up?
Beat him while he's down, baby.
They're just frustrated, so I like keep switching weapons. Hit this thing. We go back to the impact sense. Did it work?
It doesn't crit.
Like 2 of them just DC.
Oh,
I don't have it.
Oh,
but it's an advantage.
You hit, but you didn't crit this.
I think all of us.
Did we lose Noah again?
Yeah. Well, it actually showed up online.
Oh, shoot.
All right, you hit. What's next?
Hello?
Hi, am I back?
I realized that.
Oh, it wasn't.
Is anybody talking on this? Are they
Hello,
frozen?
we're talking.
Hi. Hello, John. John, are you frozen? Yeah, you're kind of frozen.
Or-
Hello.
Hi, John.
You hear me? All right.
Oh, I heard you.
I believe I can hear everybody.
There they are. They get back.
Is it working?
Hi, John.
Oh,
Where'd you?
I need to roll my attack, right?
Yeah, so you hit him once so far.
I think there's a delay in the speech.
Oh, so yeah, I'll go ahead and roll my attack then.
What?
Boy. Can't roll for damage, but you can roll to hit.
Absolutely.
You guys don't see.
How did it show up online?
Anything else?
Do I get my secondary attack?
Did you do flurry again?
He does not have the key points for that, I'm sure.
Okay. And
I didn't use it.
it also wasn't said beforehand, so yeah, we'll say no flurry.
Also, does his impact cestus have the same damage as his unarmed strike?
No, it's 2 more.
Yeah.
Because you should have rolled your
D6.
damage for your the D6 instead.
No, I thought I got disconnected just in time where you guys didn't see the first roll.
Wow.
Well, the first roll was good. You had advantage on it.
But he wanted a crit, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure at this point, John, like, you
Okay.
can almost be taking damage from how sore your fists are.
So it would have been fine. We didn't even have to cheat.
Oh, we didn't have to cheat.
Wow. Okay. So Carm's done. This guy's gonna stand up, kind of snort derisively at Carm. He is not grappling anymore, so I guess that should have been gone for a while. He's gonna follow with his. Oh wait, no.
Oh,
Dead. 15, 20. I know it was a weird path.
He's taking dodge action. Bobbing and weaving.
Carm, go ahead and do your attack of opportunity.
I would love to.
Wait, do you get 2 attacks of opportunity?
No, just one.
But this is the whole reason I've been running around, is so that people can get attacks of opportunity while I run around.
You miss.
This is stupid.
You miss.
Okay.
Okay. Grapple. Oh, I've rolled a 19. That's a 23 for you, you sneaky little.
Yeah, well, if I can just roll me a natural 20, that would beat it.
Nat 20.
Nope.
You're not Carm. You can't just roll 20s and all day.
I rolled my double nat 20s on my acrobatics check before.
Okay, that's fair. You can roll 20s all you want. Apparently.
20's not
So I'm grappled.
You are grappled
again.
again.
Someone throw some spells at this kid. He's
Veneer.
damaging everything I'm throwing at him.
I wish I could get there.
How far does Kevin have to go to get there? Kevin, you can probably finish off that guy.
You can carry him 15 feet and then let him run the other 30.
Oh, he's grappling though. Does that mean he's on the ground?
No.
Oh, it just means he's grappling.
You'll be fine, Kevin. I'm gonna kill the big guy.
All right. Killed the little dude.
I'll try to at least.
You hit.
Oh.
Once.
Oh, wait. Where are you? You're over here. Okay.
He made it 30.
So both of those hit. You also toss in that. Wow. Okay. So rounding is weird, but who cares? We'll just add them all and then divide it, and that's being nice to you because
Wait, do I
otherwise.
hit the second attack too?
Yeah.
Oh.
These guys are large and
In charge.
I want to say meaty, but that's not. That makes sense.
There's no meat on them bones.
Okay. Oh no, not minus 89. That would be a little bit too much. You cannot
That
have
is 89.
that much damage.
Pass the puck.
He's not dead permanently.
You better have killed him after I.
Anything else for you, Veneer?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So it's just
All right, Phoenix.
Is it half?
Oof, you just hit,
Oh, finally.
but he's still there. He's not giving up.
I'm not good. You know what?
watch this fight after we kill this guy.
You know what? Hold on. No, I'm not. I'm gonna waste a spell for this. I'm done.
I feel like you did exactly what your job is. you know?
Actually, can I move over here?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, right here.
Okay, you can move there too.
Good
Oh,
call.
yeah, that helps us out.
Good call.
You can go a little further if you'd like.
Just run away from him. He can't hit you.
What's the how much do I have actually? Yeah. Okay. I'll take that attack, whatever it is.
All right, he's attacking you. You're gonna regret this.
Yeah, he's gonna do like 10 damage.
Hey, 19 to hit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And 3 damage.
All right.
Twink. Ding.
Man. Okay, Alden.
How bad is this guy looking?
He's looking real bad. He's looking about as bad as that last one you just killed.
Okay, then I'll just put 1 point into speed dart. Where do I do that? Right here.
Entire fight, he's been.
Darting people.
You still have your ability up, which is removing your disadvantage on these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I just see precog hunch. Isn't that also a bonus thing?
So precognitive hunch is a concentration spell in effect, but the concentration of the focus is different.
Okay.
It's not a concentration related mechanic.
Okay.
So I did that. I need to mark off a point, and then I will make my sling attack.
Wow.
Terrible damage on the speed dart.
5 plus 2, so 7. This is. I mean, it didn't take him out. Not quite. That purple glow was pretty faint, and the rock itself doesn't do too much.
Boy, this is the first fight I've run through almost an entire precog hunch tick.
All right, Karm.
Go behind him for advantage.
Yep.
Oh, metagaming. He's already activated anyway.
I went a straight and narrow path. Here we go. Pow!
Oh my god! What the hell?
That does it.
Is he dead yet?
That's the last 6. He's gone.
Yes, hey, I took 3 damage for nothing.
Fuck. That is ridiculous. You've rolled almost, 8 now?
Probably.
Jesus. Okay, I pull out the skull.
Wow.
Oh wait, no, we're not done. Or is that Skelly dead?
That's the last. Oh, you're right. You're right.
I took that 3 damage for nothing.
Hold on. I take Captain's javelin and I throw it with my bonus action.
No way. All right, Veneer, you're up.
No.
Oh no, this guy's he probably missed one because I think I just deleted the one that was
Yeah, he is.
actually he's going real quick. I'm sorry. All right, Phoenix, eat it.
Eat it.
Oh, that's 7. Okay, maybe not. All right, Veneer, go ahead.
All right, I want to go here, then jump off, and try to do an acrobatics flip,
What is it?
and then attack the guy.
You're gonna jump off of me?
I didn't hear what you said, but I feel like you have to do an acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
What exactly are you attempting to do here?
Trying to jump,
He like runs on Phoenix's back,
basically over and then
front
flip.
and then X slash.
Yeah. And then,
So, okay.
Okay, so the way we'll do this, I'm not going to tell you the DC, but if you pass, you pass. If you, well, okay, never mind then. Okay, go ahead and make your attack with disadvantage.
I think I still get 2 attacks.
Wait,
right?
but he lands on the other side.
Yeah.
His first attack is while he's in midair, so he's at disadvantage.
Okay.
Where does he land?
Well, he lands first and he stabs backwards.
What the heck? All right. As you are sorry, you want to describe how you do this? I mean,
Yeah, basically.
he's not dead yet, but I feel like flying over the air and attacking him.
That wasn't supposed to be a D20. Basically, after I was imagining after I do the flip, I'm gonna be behind him and then like hit his head or I could be in midair and try to like chop his head in half, basically.
All right, do your second attack. Let's see if you can. He is all but gone.
Please hit.
And this one will be at an advantage because you're now behind him. Oh my stars!
But disadvantage, but it hit anyway. So, and Philip dropped. He got so frustrated he dropped.
Rage quit.
Unreal.
Ridiculous night.
Don't worry. I'm going to roll this natural 20. Nope.
Oh, yeah. There's my damage.
What are you slashing at?
Yeah, Kevin. I already killed the guy.
Hitting there.
Am I back?
Yep.
It's back.
Did you hear what I thought was how you killed him?
No.
Okay, so what I thought, and you can do it however you want, but I was thinking, so he kind of like sees you, fly over him, and he's like, and then you land on the other side of him, and you stab him straight through the skull, and like the sword comes out of his open mouth because his jaw was dropped in awe.
That's exactly what he was thinking.
Yeah, for sure. I just couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It really does.
You guys have survived the assault of the skeletons in the swamp.
Yay.
Laid waste.
Crushed them.
So the gyms are gone. Great.
All the power gems.
Well, what are you guys doing?
I would like
Power
to. I would like to take out the skull from my pack.
Okay. So are you guys? Okay. Yes. I'm going to just assume that you guys looked within like the ash and the rubble of these minotaurs.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Because yeah, so the gems cracked,
Oh.
but they were like magical, right? So anyway, we'll go with Alden first. And so you're pulling the skull out of your pack
Yes.
and just examining it.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you pull it out, you see that the crystal in its skull is kind of it's crystal. The whole thing's a skull.
Mhm.
Is pulsating, but as you watch, it's like going weaker and weaker and weaker, and it stops. And as you pull it out, you obviously get the sense that it was the source of the vibration that you were feeling. Looks like the kind of the mouth of the skull has somewhat changed the shape that it was in. Like it's slightly more open than it had been before. And yeah, that's about what you see.
I'd like to try and create a telepathic link with it, as if it were a living creature.
Interesting. Okay. I think you tried that before, but go ahead and.
Well, I don't recall, but I'm doing this now. Even if I did so before, I'm doing this now again because I am assuming that maybe it regains some sense of sentience.
Right. God, it's so warm in here. Give me a second.
We did pretty good in that fight.
Yeah, sure.
Oh. That's what I need to do.
If my damage wasn't halved all the time, it would have destroyed the whole map 5 times over.
Right? Five ones.
I need to cast my spells. Are you hurt? That bad?
No, I got half health. Yeah, I'm at half.
What is Alden at? He's probably pretty low.
I am at 7.
Oh!
I got hit once, and that's what happened.
I got hit once, and it was just chase Alden around.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Yeah.
I did my job. I was kiting the thing.
That's true.
That charging attack, I think, is probably the strongest. Well, other than the lightning blast from the Bone Naga, but the strongest single hit that y'all have encountered so far.
Naga.
I didn't even feel it.
Can I
right? Isn't that what happened?
Do a little healing on Alden as this is happening.
Very out and while you're looking at the skull all day.
How do you set? Oh, oops.
What you got
I didn't mean to do
there?
that. Sorry.
All right. There it is. Okay. What? Go into more specifics for me.
So whatever mechanics you feel are present when I first attempt to create a psychic link to someone before I try to talk to them. Like I don't know. You can tell me what happens, but like if I know that the link is successful or not, or what. Tell me how this works.
Okay, so you're just whatever your standard approach is to talking to things is what you are doing to the skull now.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So you reach out psychically, and we'll just role play it for now, where it's essentially your mind thrust is like what an extremely amped up version of just establishing that initial psychic link.
Okay.
To the point where you're like trying to essentially overpower their psyche with your own. And so this is like the smallest version of a mind thrust as you kind of reach out and attempt to feel this consciousness there. And you reached out. You remember, when you reached back and did that mind thrust on those skeletons a long time ago at Light Watch, how they seemed in a strange way kind of remote and distant from you. That is not what happens here. Rather than sort of a sense of distance, you get it's like you are running into some sort of barrier. But this is different than what, like if you were just trying to talk to a rock or a tree or something, essentially it'd be kind of like you're stretching out your hand and there's, you're just not feeling anything. Well, if you're like trying to stretch out to another consciousness, you kind of reach out and feel, somewhat, depending on, the person's will, a degree of pliability. And that's kind of how you create this link. So, like with Gallandan, for example, it was extremely pliable, but here, what you're feeling here, it's very rigid, and it's almost like qualitatively different than the psyches that you have interacted with so far. So kind of with this, just what I'm assuming is kind of a tentative initial attempt at connection. That's all you would get.
Okay. I then try and speak to it telepathically,
Okay.
whether or not it works. I say, you will not do that again.
Okay.
Do I hear this?
No.
Oh.
So as you do that, you see two things. You experience two things. One, you see the gem kind of briefly light up again, and you feel some psychic pushback. Essentially, there's no particular, there's no message or like words, right, being conveyed to you. But it's like, if you were reaching out to something, it's essentially like something attempted to swat your hand away. Like that sort of analog.
Then I say, you have no power here, and I actually do a mind thrust upon the skull.
You have no power.
Yeah, go ahead. Ooh, okay, go ahead and roll your mind thrust. Shoot. I need page 19 and the last one here. Oh, here's 19.
Oh, healed you 5 points. All them. I healed you 5.
What?
Oh, you healed me 5. I got it. Thank you.
At least I feel. Almost. Almost literally.
They intersperse the stat blocks with just regular paragraph breaks, and they look very similar. But I know there are stats in here somewhere. Come on. Gosh darn it. Okay, what did you roll? Oh, so it's the save.
Yes.
Yeah, how intelligent can he be if it's like just a rock?
Well, it's not.
There we go. Okay. Okay. Ooh. So you lash out at this, this hard consciousness, and you're running into this wall, and it's a sizable impact. You know that he's felt it because like you're aware that this is. It's like even if you're punching a wall, like the wall will reverberate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you do that, and then essentially you see the gem goes dark, and it's like he's kind of closed off from you, and that link has somewhat been broken.
Yep, I put it back in my pack.
You showed him.
All right.
Yeah, so I suppose for everybody else, like what you see is I pull out the skull and like I'm just focusing on it, and then at one point you actually see my eyes like glow, and that's when I do the mind thrust upon the skull, and then I put it back in my pack.
Nothing to see.
You would probably recognize that it was a mind thrust, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So can we perception check to see if there's anything of value? Or
Yeah, I mean, sure. I guess I kind of telegraphed that one, but I realized in my description of it breaking, I might have inadvertently, I don't know, make you think that it's not even worth looking around, and that's not what I intended to do. Yeah, so if you guys go and you look, and you're kind of looking through these ash piles, in the one that is currently right next to Alden, you pulled out a red gem, which I'm just going to have you write down as a garnet. Whoever's taking that.
should we just give it to Alden?
Yes, so. Since he's also keeping the money, might as well
Yeah.
let him have
I
it.
want the ring of power. I mean, stone of power. Power.
Sure, I'm pulling up my inventory to keep track of what we're picking up here.
Cool.
Okay, so garnet.
Yep. And then the other one is a tourmaline.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how to spell that?
I do.
Phil, can you keep in mind that I'm looking for some golden bones?
These bones do not appear gold in any way. But I guess they might have some like actual money on them. Let me see what I can.
They use the horn.
So you said a red gem and a blue gem. So are these cracked then?
No.
Are these not the same gems that were in the skulls?
I mean, not that your characters would know this or whatever, but so the gems were like magically encased, right, in these skulls. But this cracking that you're seeing is like the enchantment around them being broken.
Okay.
So the gems themselves are smaller than what appeared on the skull of the Minotaur skeletons.
Gotcha.
These gems are, in fact, intact. Let me just... Okay, you also find...
Big money.
I'll do one more. 16 gold pieces, so you can trade those amongst yourselves.
The total?
Yes, but the gems here are the real, you know.
Yeah.
That price.
Sweet.
So,
Okay, and actually, so just before I forget, you guys go ahead and give yourselves 375 experience for that combat.
Okay.
And then I think we're a little behind from the experiences of the previous session. So with all of that, go ahead and take another 200 experience.
Woo! Wait, so it's 375 plus 200?
Yeah.
Dang, we're almost.
we're almost half.
Yeah, I imagine you're not.
Halfway there.
Hey, so could we collect materials and then give it to the blacksmiths for them to make items? Like, let's say if I want to try Mars horn and see if you can make some shields out of it, or whatever.
You're
Just getting rocks.
trying to collect a horn, you said?
Yeah.
So you can go over to a horn and make a nature. Let's have you make a strength. Oh, it won't do anything unless you're like proficient. You're not proficient in nature or survival, are you?
Definitely not.
Okay, you just go ahead and make a strength check. This is you attempting to rip the horn out of the skull.
Let's go straight here.
Why would anybody want a horn? It's
Cool.
not snake skin.
Yeah, it's not snake skin.
All right, so you're you know like you got one foot on top of the skull and or like kind of braced against the other horn, and then you're like trying to pry the horn closer to you off, and you're working at it for a while, and eventually it snaps and it comes off, but like the bottom edge is kind of jagged, and you know you kind of like left a fourth of it on the skull, so we'll say you got 3/4 of a minotaur horn.
Should hunt while we're out here.
I plan on doing it on trying to get all the horns.
All of the horns. Okay.
Do I keep making the checks?
No, we'll just say you're. This would probably be so. If we want to do this, and you're going around and trying to get all of these, my suggestion to the rest of y'all would be, go ahead and take what will probably be a around half-hour process for Phoenix with his role, and turn it into a short rest for everybody except.
Hey, I like that idea.
Except for Phoenix.
As he exerts himself getting
Chop the head off and just go with that.
four partial Minotaur horns. Sure. Okay. So if you want to do that, we can say you get 2 Minotaur horns, and then when you get to the second one, you're like, screw this, and you just take the entire head.
Yeah, I'm taking the entire head on the second one. It's taking too long.
Okay. So you can go ahead and do a short rest, but man, see, now I wish I was still using those encumbrance rules because you
can still encumber him. It's up to you.
Yeah,
You can't just say like this rule doesn't exist anymore. You can totally just do that. It's your world.
Encumbrance says I don't know how to draw the line because encumbrance says it's like the vanilla encumbrance. You're nowhere near that, but it's ridiculous. But okay, essentially what I guess I'll say is your pack now qualifies as full. So if you want anything else, you got to start removing things from your pack.
Got it. Get wrecked.
Get wrecked.
Get wrecked.
Get wrecked.
Let's see.
Can we maybe take a quick break?
Yep.
I need to use the restroom.
Sure. I'll be back soon too.
Dude, I just got all my key points back.
Really?
Golly!
Do you have to roll for those?
Nope. Every short rest.
Oh. Hey, Noah.
Yeah.
Did y'all put the icing on the cinnamon sticks?
Ready.
All right, I'm coming to get some.
That's a nice one.
Ah. Ah.
Oh. Yeah, man.
Inspiration for it.
Oh shoot! Did you just say inspiration, John?
No.
What?
No, I should get inspiration for during the script and killing people.
I cannot.
What happens to that?
I had 6 crits that match.
Only 6?
Only 6, but a bunch of over 20s.
Only 6? Yeah, I guess a bunch of over 20s. Okay. So what's going on now?
I start focusing on my sensor.
Oh.
And I grab a hold of Veneer.
All right. As you kind of reconnect with the statue, there's no limitation to how far this thing works?
No. I mean, I can roll it for you if you want.
I believe you, but yeah, it'd just be nice to read over it again. As I recall, it's like 7 paragraphs long, and
yeah,
I wrote me something. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you look through. There's a few people kind of going around, the big empty room. Misha is, of course, still standing there again. And you actually notice that there seems to be another person who is somewhat, dressed in the religious garb of Lissimile, which is essentially long robes that are kind of embroidered with these very green floral patterns. The robes themselves are white or yellow traditionally, but this looks like he's an older man, bald, ring of white hair around the edges of his head, wrinkled, bearded, but he's standing. He's not hunched over or anything, he's not like a decrepit old man. He's just an old man. And he seems to be a priest. And as you watch, you see, Misha seems to treat him somewhat deferentially. As just more kind of standard temple goings on seem to occur. And then the older man leaves through one of the back doors. And once everyone else has left the temple, Misha again goes into that southeastern door, and the room is empty. The rest of you, as you continue on,
I'll just keep going on the path that I guess was going on. Toward those poles, right?
Yeah. So essentially, you see a pole in the distance. You kind of guide people as best as you can through the swampy, bog terrain. Except for Alden, who you will kind of let stray off a little bit every now and then.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, Alden, I guess you must. I guess you didn't notice, but you rolled perception pretty well, so maybe you kind of saw in the combat that you seem to be a little bit muddier than everybody else for some reason. But you continue on, and yeah. So so you've been in the swamp for about 3 hours so far. Really, just the swamp itself would slow you down, and then again, guiding Alden just makes progress extremely slow. So you had been in about 3 hours before the combat, and now you've been traveling onward for another hour or two, and so really you ended up taking your short rest right around noon. And so as you're approaching mid-afternoon, you get your first clue that you're nearing Orlane, as you see a small rise on the horizon, and so far it's been very flat, like a bog would be, other than the occasional shrubbery. So there's a small rise on the horizon, a shallow hill that peaks above the neighboring bog, looking almost unnatural after such a long, flat, soggy trod. At the top of the hill, you can make out 2 structures, one that appears to be a small cottage, and another larger structure that must be the bog equivalent of a barn. As you approach, you can start to make out next to the barn what look like long pallets of wood that are resting on long, flat, wide wooden ski-looking things with a rope that comes off of the pallet, but the rope is connected to it at both ends. And the center of the rope is wrapped in some sort of padding. I'm assuming you guys are just like making your way up to the cottage. So if you want to stop and talk or do something, do so now as I'm about to narrate more.
Should we sneak in or should we not?
Do we think there's something wrong with this guy? I mean, do we think he's an indoctrinated person? He seems pretty removed from the village.
Well, I can't talk.
If he's so removed, well,
I guess I'll probably just do like 6-minute intervals where I'm not looking at the sensor, or not 6 minute, 6 second intervals where I'm not looking through the sensors, so I can communicate.
Okay.
That's just for your information, Philip.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you can hear things. I assume that you can.
Yeah, but I wish to speak telepathically, and I have to see them in order to do so.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying like you can hear them talking. So if you decide to participate in the conversation, it's easy enough to turn
Okay.
off.
If I hold a blanket for myself,
I don't know. You'd have to ask Philip.
I would
see your
really-
hands.
very much like message. As long as you have a good idea where they are, you can just kind of project in that direction.
Anyways,
But I think you should try it. You never know.
if there was an attack that came from the bog that were Naga, then I assume this guy was probably aware of it and would have potentially even been one of the first indoctrinated. I wouldn't trust him to be free-minded.
Oh. So should we just like kind of scope it out, talk to him a little bit, and then sneak into his house?
yes, just like Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Oh, let's walk up, and
Okay.
I'll start walking up there, and
I follow right behind him.
with Alden in tow.
Okay, so you guys are approaching what looks like the actual residential structure.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll be last.
It's so there's only that residential structure. What else is there?
There's a barn.
Oh, there's a barn.
Essentially a barn. Yeah.
Wait. Can I go to the barn?
We can split up.
If you want to.
Okay.
I'll go to the barn.
You're not very sneaky.
Does it look like there are lights on in the house? I assume that at this point it's a little dark out.
No, it's like 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
How about
Or maybe 3 in
I
the
go to the
afternoon.
barn and then you two go to the house.
No, but I want to go to the house.
Then how about let's just go
You
all
just-
to the house.
You just go.
Okay, so what's happening?
we're all going to the house.
The house.
As a group?
He rage quit.
And Philip rage quit.
So did Noah.
Ooh, I know what I'll do. I'll you know how in Lord of the Rings where
You shall not pass.
no, he's helping Gandalf walk like he's hurt, like he's old in the second movie. That's what I'll do for Alden.
Oh, and as we're walking up to him,
Throw his cloak off and then just like
Oh, you talking about when he's going to see Theoden?
yeah. And all three of us have to go around and I'll walk
Bye.
around the ring.
Hey, we got our thing. Lord of the Rings.
So did your plan change in my absence?
Only the presentation.
Yes.
What does that mean?
you'll
We're
find
escorting Alden like
Gandalf.
the Fellowship of the Ring is escorting Gandalf to King Theoden.
Okay. So you guys are making your way towards this cottage.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you are approaching this hill, you realize that you are approaching the back of both of the cottage and this barn. They're facing away from you guys, further west towards more barn.
So the fronts of these buildings are facing towards the swamp?
Yes.
Interesting.
So assuming you kind of are you approaching straight from the back, or are you circling around the hill and coming up to the front from that direction?
Well, we should probably come for the front
Yeah,
side.
let's circle around.
So to be clear, the house and the barn are both on a hill up out of the swamp and then facing west.
Yeah, it's a very shallow hill.
Shallow hill. Okay.
You know, so like essentially, you know, maybe at its peak, like I don't know, 7 feet or so above the rest of the bog. But enough that, you know, as you start moving up the hill, the ground gets drier and more sturdy. As you are rounding the hill and you kind of come across the corner, you can see out in front of you is what looks like an adaptation of a vineyard. You know, so you see like these poles sticking up out of the bogs, out of the bog. And this is a kind of a ways still in front of you, you know, a couple 100 feet beyond this hill where the vineyards start. But you see wood coming out and some plants growing and things like that. And there's, you know, it's pretty expansive, right? Like it's a large area that is being worked. Okay, but so as you approach up the hill, the ground gets sturdier underneath your feet. You get a closer look at everything that's going on in the barn, and you see that the cottage structure is resting on stilts, raised off of the ground a few feet, and you can see that like the base of every third stilt or so looks really like sodden and rotten and kind of gross, damp, right? The barn is on the highest and the driest portion of all of the ground and is resting on the ground itself. Okay, you approach the cottage. You see that the windows are open, but the door is closed. You don't hear anything inside. No one comes out to greet you. And you go up and knock, shout, turn around and go back to town.
To make them around and go back to town.
That sounds about right.
Boys, take out my sword and hit Phoenix's shield.
What? What do you say?
I just whack your shield. My sword makes some noise like a gong.
Okay, so you're just like, so Phoenix is just like walking in front of you, and all of a sudden you're just like,
oh yeah.
Okay.
Could have hit my walk.
No, I'm dang. Well, so now we're making a lot of noise.
What is he doing?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing you. If you're still using John's mic, maybe that's why.
Like, as we're walking up, I don't see anybody, so I hit your shield with my sword, right?
Okay.
And it breaks his arm.
I don't think so. All right, so like this loud clang kind of goes out. You still don't notice anything happening from the house or the barn, but I mean it was loud. You know, it would have traveled for quite some distance.
I go up and knock on the door.
Okay, ears ringing. Phoenix goes up and knocks on the door, and the door kind of swings open a little bit, but no one comes to answer.
Dude, he's dead. We can loot all his stuff.
Knock again.
Do we see the edge of the vineyard?
Yeah.
Can I maybe see if he's in there somewhere?
Sure can. Roll perception.
As he's doing that, can I try to climb to the top of the roof?
One more time, Noah.
Can I try to climb to the top of his house?
If that's what you really want to do, yeah, you can roll. Are you just trying to get like a better view or something? Is that what's happening here? Or
you don't have to ask us motives, Philip. You just let us do this stuff.
I mean, that's true. I was just like, this this looks tall. I want to climb it. I was trying to I got there. Sure. So so you can do that if you want, but before we do that, we'll resolve Alden's pretty good perception roll. So Alden, you kind of turn and scan out across the vineyard, the bog vineyard. And sure enough, you see, it looks like some little bobbing, circle making its way towards the house pretty quickly. And as it approaches, you can realize, okay, this is a farmer. This must be Orlane.
So I psychically direct everyone's attention to that spot as it approaches.
Okay. Veneer, if you are still interested in climbing the house, we can absolutely do that.
So I know where the guy is. I still kind of want to see him from far away, though.
What?
Well, I'll still climb up on the house.
You're still climbing on the house. Okay.
You want someone else's house.
Roll athletics or acrobatics, I suppose.
Yes, acrobatics. Always a win.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're scaling this house pretty effectively. You reach the top. It's not very high. Even the stilts are only a few feet off the ground, and you can kind of use them as leverage and put your foot in the window and whatever. Your
foot in the window.
The windows were open, so Sure. Now Veneer is on top of the house. Everyone else is still in front of it. You hear this voice kind of yelling out towards you, specifically probably at Veneer. What are you doing on my house? And sure enough, out of the vineyard bursts this older looking gentleman, but he's like his skin, is tan and leathery. His beard is kind of short cut, but prickly and gray. He is wearing a very wide hat that is intended to protect him from the sun, and he has like a strap that's going around underneath his chin. He's wearing very large galoshes. You can see kind of where the swamp bog has come up but not spilled into his boots. He's walking with a large stick that is also kind of covered in muck along the bottom, and is overall just rather gross looking, very earthy, if you would.
Is he
Pardon me?
Is he a human?
One more time.
Human.
Human?
Yes.
Yes, he is human. You feel like if Lasimile ever needed a what am I trying to say? This is
a man of the land.
Yes, if you wanted a stereotypical follower of Lasimile, this is probably pretty close to what you would expect. Yeah, so he kind of charges up his hill. He sees you guys. He's holding his walking stick in as aggressive a manner or intimidating a manner as he can pull off, which isn't very intimidating given his overall aesthetic. And he kind of shakes at you overall at Veneer and just says, "What are you all doing here? What are you on my land for? What do you want? Why are you on my house?"
I'll say sorry and then jump off, but try to do a backflip as I jump off.
All right, do acrobatics.
Oh my gosh.
All right, fine. You land. Orlane is more confused than he was before at what is going on.
I interject and say, hey, I recently arrived at this town, had some of the best wine ever. It was also the first time I've ever had wine. But it was very good. and I had to meet the I'm guessing the maker, the creator of this wine.
Okay, say something just so I can make sure I can still hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, okay. That's better. Okay. Yeah, he says, well, that would be me. I'm Orlane. And now you've met me, and if that's all you are here for, well, that was quite a trek you made. But nice to meet you, I suppose. Always nice to meet a fan. That's.
Do you have any more?
No, I have grapes. I don't. I sell my grapes. I don't actually drink wine myself. I'm.
So you don't have wine here? So you don't drink wine here?
I don't have any here. No, I'm afraid not. I really think that you would have been better served just going to the inn in town.
Well, I needed to meet you. You made this wine. I figured from the source is where the good stuff is.
Okay, go ahead and roll deception, right? Like, that's not why you're here.
Sure.
20.
I don't
20.
Oh,
yes!
There it is.
Yes! Karma, kata. I'm not sure it's even yet, but that's pretty close.
2 natural ones.
Also, you have no modifiers either. So it's like whatever.
Wow. I don't even know how to make him react.
He's in shock.
Yeah. All of a sudden, he realizes or remembers that he is hugely racist against half-orcs.
Hey, that's racist.
I don't think you're actually here looking for another drink. Even one such as you surely would not be so stupid as to travel for hours and hours with
Wait,
3 partners to come get some additional wine. Why are you here? Why? What could possibly?
I wave my hand at him and say, hi, scrawny guy in the back here.
Yeah,
with telepathically. And blast it to everybody.
Okay, Orlane is very confused, and you see it on his face, and it very quickly turns to suspicion, I don't know why. Perhaps, what are you guys doing here? And he's backing down the hill a little bit at this point, and holding out, his staff very,
defensively.
Yes, kind of aimed at you guys.
So then I follow up and I say, we heard rumors that several years ago there was salamander problem. Do you encounter those still out this way?
Are you? No, I haven't run into any since that time, a long time. What are you looking for? Why are you here?
He doesn't correct me or anything when I said salamander.
No. Roll.
Insight?
No, not insight.
Okay.
Roll, I guess, an intelligence or a nature check. You can choose.
Right. Skills int. It's the same either way. So.
Hey, okay, that's okay. Okay, so this is a little tricky, I guess. Salamander is like the mature form of those fire snakes you ran into.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so so you knew that all along.
So let me tell you what I have been operating on since last session.
Okay.
We heard two conflicting terms for the. I heard two conflicting terms referencing the beasts that attacked the town 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I had put together in some manner that salamander was the incorrect thing, and that people have been referencing that beast to us in reference to that event 6 years ago.
Okay. So what you would be aware of is fire snakes are the not mature form of salamander. So them being called snakes could be that's the fire snake. Them being called salamander could be somebody who is aware that these things are basically baby forms of what will end up being known as a salamander. So while given everything with the cultish activity, there definitely could be motivation behind using one term versus the other, but the two terms aren't necessarily mutually exclusive.
Right. Okay. So what? Let me back up just one more second.
Okay.
So the Naga, I was under the impression of was the actual critter that invaded 6 years ago, as told by Lissa.
Okay. That part you don't know. You know that Lissa
is that the creature that Lissa mentioned this attack, this or the start of this whole thing in this town originating from the bog and some creature, and I thought she was referencing Naga. If I'm wrong or if I don't know, you can tell me that.
No, so I imagine my guess is that this is one of those kind of artifacts of having such long breaks in between sessions. But so what Lissa, the story that Lissa was attempting to communicate to you guys was, back in the day, Sasava and Fassel and Eska and kind of their whole retinue were going and looking actively for a Naga because they wanted to try to make another bone Naga, gain immortality, all of that jazz. And so they had been traveling all around trying to find one, and where they eventually, they kept coming up short, but they had heard tale of salamanders in the Dread Bog. So they were like, okay, you know what? They're serpentine. Maybe that's, something that would connect us to a Naga. So they go to the salamanders. Salamanders are actually like, oh, heck, you know what? Yeah, there is a Naga up in the mountains. He's been...
So salamanders have some sort of sentient ability to speak?
Yeah, salamanders are intelligent. Fire snakes are kind of like the babies or whatever that aren't as intelligent. Salamanders themselves are sentient creatures.
Okay.
And with a nature check of 23, I'm fine with giving all of that information. So they connected with the salamanders. Salamanders like, oh yeah, heck, you know what? There's a Naga. Let's make some sort of deal, etc. She didn't go into specifics. Mm-hmm. Salamanders take them to the Naga. They were betrayed. That's where kind of Sasava then gets captured by this Naga up in the mountains. It was the salamanders that they had met in the Dread Bog.
Okay. See, okay. There's the disconnect. Okay. So now I have no leads. Thank you, Philip.
no,
Six.
no problem.
We can go back to town now. Yeah, because now after all that, I don't even know how to continue.
Well, is there anything he needs us to do? I can ask him that.
Yeah.
Is there any fearsome monsters you'd like us to kill? We encountered some on the way here and disposed of them quite easily.
So you're looking for work?
Yes.
You could say that.
Or wine.
Tell you what. I'll if I can come up with a job for you, I'll pay you with these small metal discs that you can then trade for wine.
Can
He
I
says to-
make an insight check?
He says, yes, he's saying this to Carm. Yeah, go for it.
I would like to do an insight.
Not great.
Okay. Yeah, you can do an insight as well.
More specifically, like a metal disc for wine.
Well, that is also what I was looking for. Not that I would know anything with my role.
Okay, a small metal disc. Yeah, so he is being extremely condescending in his explanation to Carm.
Oh, man. But I don't know that. I know that I don't know that.
More work for you if you don't have any work for us.
Well,
Did you just threaten him?
Is that really what you said? I mean,
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Oh
Hey, you just like
Sometimes you gotta play a
Yeah.
little rough with the
you
people that want to play
gotta
rough.
defend your friends sometimes.
so you're threatening to hurt me if I don't employ you? Wouldn't it be easier to just rob me? Hey, go ahead and roll intimidation. Actually, I should have had you do that.
I don't roll that one very much.
Okay, good. It's a pretty bad roll, so that's okay. And his roll's fine. So that's how he responds. You are a very strange bunch with your eyeball mouth and you like roof climber and the half orc that doesn't realize that currency is a thing this day and age. And I guess you have a mute dragonborn, but I mean, I know. But if you're looking for work, I mean, I can come to some sort of agreement. People don't come this way nearly as often as they used to, so things are a little trickier for me sometimes. So yeah, if you want a job, we can talk. And he's kind of like looking around to each of you because he's not really sure who he wants to be having this conversation with. It's like, so he kind of settles on Phoenix mainly because
He hasn't spoken.
yes.
Well, if you don't have anything that's that pressing to do, then if you could just give us a brief history of how you came to be here, I think we'd find that interesting enough as a reward for coming out here and finding you. I don't know what that means, but I want to
Okay, go ahead and roll persuasion.
It's pretty persuasive, I think. Basically, I would like to I don't know, kind of know why he's out here.
Yeah, just as luck would have it, yeah, he's been feeling lonely these last couple of days because people just don't come by as often, and I mean, he thinks you're weird, but he doesn't. your intimidation attempt, he's pretty sure was just another artifact of kind of
The weirdness.
this backflipping, roof climbing person, and not actually malicious. And so he's moderately, okay with sharing his story. That was quite a nice persuasion roll. But you get those RP rolls in the clutch, don't you, Veneer?
Yep.
RP rolls.
Well, if you are interested in the history of the area, yes. So I grew up, a small lad, and so he starts going on this long, kind of overdrawn story, but I'll give you the highlights. I grew up in Brennisford, as a young man, would see all these good, this produce coming in from Ormond's Delve, and kind of always wanted to set out on his own and thought, I could probably farm pretty well. And the stuff from, not Ormond's Delve, I'm sorry, from Hammel. This stuff from Hammel seems like it's pretty good. So, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to attempt to essentially corner some aspect of the market. He gets to Hammel, maybe, 30 years ago. So he was kind of like a young man at that point. He's probably, in his 50s or so now. And sees, that they're selling all this ale over to Ormond's Delve and all these other, produce, but no one really has attempted to grow wine. But he's, ale is a great export, blah, blah. So he thinks, okay, I'll do this. And he kind of notices that it looks like the further the farms are to the west, the more productive their overall being. And so he decides to take that to the extreme. He'd always kind of been a follower of Lysimile as well. So, Hammel lined up with his belief system so far, and he trusted in this goddess to protect him as he attempted essentially to honor her by growing really great crops.
Can I make an insight check when he's talking about Lysimile to see if he has any similar ticks to Misha?
Yeah, you sure can.
Nice.
Nope.
Oof. All right. As far as you can tell, he's being very honest. So he moves out, starts this farm, realizes, that very quickly that one, he grows great grapes. Two, he has a very hard time actually getting the grapes to anyone else because of the bog. And so he has kind of come to rely on these townsfolk, and he's created these structures which are supposed to help essentially be carts for the bog that you can kind of drag along the surface more easily than you could a traditional cart. But he is pretty much I create the grapes and I give the grapes away, and I've kind of helped with the fermentation process, etc. All that stuff. But he is primarily interested in growing the grapes, selling really great grapes, making money that way. And then within Hammel, I think Bertram even said this, they actually do the stomping and the aging of the wine themselves personally. And as he continues telling the story, at some point, he kind of invites you guys inside as his story continues winding along. And assuming you go inside, you see that there's like one chair, which he then sits in and continues.
Yeah, he sees my mouth start to open and I'm drooling while I'm focusing on my tether.
Well, aren't you covered up? So,
oh, that's true. He wouldn't see it. So he'd probably just see my eyes just not focusing on him and my head loll to the side or something.
Yeah, he's very engrossed in telling his own story. So you may not have noticed. And then as the day drags on and he keeps talking, he starts talking about how things have here in the last year or so things have changed for him. People aren't coming out to his farm anymore nearly as often, and he mentions how one day the people he used to rely on to transfer his so what he would do, and is he would sure sell some of his grapes to Hammel and make a good amount of money that way. But really, and you can see, the size of his vineyards, he got to the point where he was producing more than Hammel could really consume and really needed. And so the most of his money came from actually taking these things down to Brennisford, which is a much larger city, much higher demand.
Brennisford?
Brennisford.
Okay. Just making sure that it wasn't a city we hadn't heard of before.
No, it's the one it's one that's been mentioned a few times. And so he would make most of his money really selling grapes to Brennisford. And so what he would do is he'd get his grapes to Hammel, and that's where he'd kind of load it up with all the other produce that was going to eventually make its way to Ormonseld, but it would go down to Brennisford first, and then they'd take it over kind of that safe route, which is no longer really being taken to Ormonseld. Maybe stop by the coach, et cetera, et cetera. But he says about 8 months ago, he went into Hammel and tried to essentially hire, or I guess I don't really know what the relationship is, but what he would typically do is hire Emmett or some space on Emmett's cart to get his produce taken and sold in Brennisford and Normanstow, and he would.
This is what he would usually do.
This is what he would usually do. And then Emmett and some of the other people from around town would also be the ones who would come as he was getting older and bring the grapes in, make a discount, help him keep up his farm, etc. But they've started doing that much, much less, and Emmett has flat out refused to sell the grapes to anybody except or to take the grapes anywhere. So at this point, Farmer Orlane is only able to sell his wares to the Golden Grain Inn. No one else will. He can't get it taken anywhere else. No one is willing to do this for him anymore. Because of that, now the Golden Grain Inn has.
Can I ask a clarification question? Yeah. Is he saying that he himself delivers these grapes to Hammel and therefore the Golden Grain Inn, or does Emmett still take them?
Emmett will still come once every couple of months, fill up, the pallet for whatever is needed, for Hammel. And so, and Andy, if you're kind of pursuing this line of questioning, he would say, still more than Hammel could use. So he thinks that Bertram is selling some without paying Orlane his fair share at this point. But he doesn't have recourse. Like there's just, he's an old man. If people won't take his stuff and sell it elsewhere, he's physically unable to do so himself. And more he doesn't like going into Hammel.
I may be able to help you with that.
Are you all heading to Brennisford anytime
Not
soon?
so much, but your suspicions upon Bertrand. Not sorry. What's his name? The bartender.
Bertram.
Bertram. Here it is. Yeah, or the Golden Gate. But I would need to sleep on it.
Okay.
So you may have noticed that I have some interesting abilities.
Most definitely, yes.
One of those may be of service to you in the sense that I can watch as things are moved.
Okay, roll persuasion real quick.
Okay. May I use... let me see if I have the points. May I use... what's it called? Precog?
Sure.
Okay. Lowering 2 points. Activating precog and persuasion. Oh, God damn!
Oof. Okay.
Ouch.
He Interesting. Okay, well, finish your spiel.
If Bertram is hiding away or not using your goods for a purpose that you are not expecting, I may be able to pick it up.
Okay. Why? What are you wanting from me?
Nothing.
I don't believe you. Why?
We also believe, we as a group also believe that there have been some strange things going on in Hammel, and our interests may be aligned.
Can I take this time to kind of look around and make sure it's just us around here?
How so?
Like just kind of scanning the area around us.
We are in his house right now.
Yeah.
Buildings. Looking outside the windows.
Yeah, just like around the, I guess.
Oh, the windows were open, huh?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, roll perception.
But that being said, I am communicating telepathically, but broadcasting to the people that I see.
Okay. It is my default to assume that that's kind of what you're doing, unless you say that you're doing it otherwise.
Right.
Okay, so Carm, you take a quick glance out of the windows. Unfortunately, the way that you happened to position yourself, kind of against one of the walls when you saw there was no additional chair, limits your view from the windows, and without kind of arousing, if you're trying to subtly kind of look around, you can't see that much, but you have a pretty good view. Yeah, I mean, it's just not amazing, but you don't see anything alarming. You just see bog and vineyards.
Okay.
Interesting. So Orlane is pondering now, much like the DM. I don't know why you all would come this way and listen to an old man prattle on for so long if you actually intended harm. I don't trust that your motivations are pure, but I'm not sure I care, to be fully honest.
We are not expecting anything from you, but for you to let me see your next shipment for 10 minutes.
I am most. I've got to tell you, Hammel is different, and you talk to the people in town who actually talk to you, and they never admit it. They always say, "Oh no, it's just a poor year. The crops are down. People are leaving. My year's been great. My crops aren't down. There's been nothing different." I don't. So you actually admitting that something is not right. It's probably the first trustworthy thing I think you've said this whole time.
From my perception with his vineyard, looking through his vineyard and the state that I saw the other vineyards in, like the wilting plants and things, do they coincide or are they distinctly different?
So as you traveled out, like you saw farms in all sorts of different states. Orlane's the vineyard does look to be I'm sure grapes don't actually grow in September.
No one's asking that question.
Asking that question.
But as far as the way that plants grow in this world, or the vineyard you saw, it definitely seems to be the healthiest thing that you've seen so far. It's in a bog, it's known for being particularly good, but you can't imagine that this is what an off year looks like. This looks like a very if I understand the intent of your question, yeah, there's no reason to think that Orlane is having a bad year. And from the smattering you've seen of other people, it would be very difficult to determine if it's that people are having a bad year, or if their farms are in worse places, or if those farms are abandoned.
So let me just get a yes or no here.
Okay.
Do I understand from you that I am seeing a relatively standard, if not abundant, harvest from Orlane, but the harvest that I have seen so far from the smattered farms, am I making no distinction between the two, or am I making a distinction between the two?
You're making a distinction. Orlane's is better.
Thank you.
Okay. You just need to see a shipment for 10 minutes?
Yeah, so what I will do, in full disclosure, you may watch if you so desire, is that I will focus on a bushel of grapes that is going in your next shipment, place it delicately upon the top of that shipment, and I should be able to view things from its perspective.
That's very strange.
Yes, it is. I'm well aware.
Oh, okay. You are very strange.
I am well aware.
Okay.
What about me?
Your friends are very strange.
Less so, but I claim the major part of the oddities.
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
We should take these grapes.
Grapes.
Okay, so normally Emmett comes by, right? And, okay, I'm not going to RP because it's going to take too long. Essentially, he's pretty intrigued in this approach. He's somewhat worried about recouping his losses because normally he doesn't really know where the grapes are going after he sells them. But he just essentially because of metagaming stuff. Let's just say that he is willing to essentially say, okay, look, I'll give you guys I'll let you do your weird little stuff, and I'll let you take it into town, on good faith that once you get paid from Bertram or whoever you're selling it to, that eventually that money, I get my fair share.
So can I would like to counteroffer in that let Emmett do the shipment still.
Okay.
It was the intention for us to view the disbursement of these while Emmett, which I have deemed as a possible indoctrinated person, to see what he does with them.
Okay.
And we can help him recoup his losses after, but that's the main goal, is to give him answers as to what is happening and not just recoup his losses from this one shipment.
Sure. So essentially he's pretty sure that what is happening is well, I guess he's already said what he's pretty sure about. The one problem with this plan is that Emmett's coming by about once a month to get things, and given the role I just did, he has about 2 weeks before he comes for his next shipment.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's a thing we can do. So let me clarify. Is he concerned with how Emmett is dispersing things, or is he concerned with how Bertram is dispersing things?
So he from his perspective, what he knows is this. Emmett would sometimes come get his grapes. Other people would sometimes come get his grapes, because he had a bountiful harvest. If his barn got full, he would hire somebody else if Emmett didn't come by. In those scenarios where he would come and get somebody else to bring his grapes to Hammel, he would then attempt to sell them. However that business exactly works out, sell, whatever other term, hire, whatever. He would essentially try to get them on a shipment that is going down to Brennisford, to the coach, to Ormond's Delve, so he can get rid of his surplus. One of the standard people who was doing that second amount was Emmett, or that traveling was Emmett.
Okay, so Emmett, the person that does a lot of travel among other towns, is
Yes.
the source of export outside of Hammel.
Yes, and so when he tries now to do that deal, or when he tried to do that deal with Emmett more recently, he always says, no, I'm not taking that outside of town anymore.
So does he just not take shipments anymore at all? Because that sounds like his only purpose. What does he do now?
Emmett?
Yes.
Emmett still takes many shipments.
So he takes shipments, but only into Hammel.
No, so he'll still take, and Orlane would tell you all of this, Emmett will still take shipments all around. He will not take Orlane's stuff outside of Hammel.
Right.
Like even for you guys, he took stuff to Ormond's Delve, but he won't take Orlane's stuff. And so that's why Orlane is thinking, okay, if he's not taking my stuff outside of Hammel, but he's still taking more than what Hammel needs, the only thing that makes sense is that somebody, either Emmett, but Orlane doesn't think that Emmett has, the ability to actually turn it into wine, or somebody else who does, likelihood being Bertram or the other inn that's in town, which he would mention and is called the Sleeping Serpent, is most likely taking those grapes, making additional wine, selling that wine themselves off of the books, and not paying back Orlane for his amount of the proceeds of the sale of the wine. Does that make sense?
Just one question is, so Emmett still is coming to Orlane, taking grapes, but is telling Orlane that he is not taking his grapes outside of town still, yes. but so everything, but he's taking more than what Orlane thinks Hammel needs.
Yes.
Okay. So we just So do you know? So we wouldn't know that. So what is your proposition? Would we be taking? We would take your shipment, and what is the process from there? Would we take it to Bertram? Like what? I don't even know if you would know this process. Like what happens after this?
So he knows that the innkeepers both sell his goods, right? So like essentially you'd try to sell some to the Slumbery Serpent, and you'd try to sell some to the Golden Grain Inn, see if it happens to go anywhere. He's thinking chances are, there's not going to be too much information that actually comes out of this. But heck, I'll get to sell another bout of my product, and so that's always good for me. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what y'all's final intention is with that, but from Orlane's perspective, it's pretty much a win. Mm-hmm. And he kind of likes you guys now because you're the first people who seem to admitted that something is weird, which he's thought for a while.
We're weird.
You are also weird.
I'm not weird. You're weird.
He is also weird.
We're here to fix this problem.
God, there's so many things to do.
I'll fix her up first.
Okay, well, I think we're kind of nearing.
Can we go a little longer? And I have a proposition.
Okay. Yes, I was going to say. So if you need time to come up with a proposition, let's just take it. But if you have one, let's go.
So if no one else has anything, what my proposition is to actually perform the long rest. And what I do is not rest. And if I don't rest. So this is something that I've not really encountered much. So you tell me what happens.
Okay.
If a long rest happens, but I stay awake, does nothing happen? Like HP, hit dice, resources.
So you're just staying awake, but nothing else is really going on?
I'm not like if I intended to focus on the on the lure, whatever, overnight, are there any disadvantages besides one level of exhaustion is my question.
So I'd have to look up some of the rules. For some reason, I feel like you wouldn't just hit a level of exhaustion after skipping one long rest. If I can't find actual rules around that, I would probably say that you only get the benefits of a short rest.
Okay, well then, in that case, I'm okay with leaving it here. If you want to figure out what you want those rules to be, that is an important decision for the beginning of next session for me.
Okay, yeah, I can look into that.
I apologize for anybody if I was like monopolizing the RP in the end there.
The only one you need to apologize is to Phoenix.
Just because he's the one that like was not weird so far.
Who hasn't talked yet? Has he talked? Has Phoenix talked?
I'm pretty sure his mic.
Kevin. Okay.
Type a confirmation into Roll20. What is your deal?
It's just been quiet, I think.
There he goes. All right.
Phoenix and Vanilla are typing. You can't hear me? Are you actually talking?
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you say hello.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think you've been talking very much.
Okay, just making sure.
We just thought that something was wrong since you hadn't said anything.
Oh man, I'm gonna watch this and he's gonna be like trying to interject like 12 times.
What if we do this?
I know. Like I've rewatched some of them and like John will be pointing something out and I totally don't ignore it until like 10 minutes later. He's like, you know, like with the Naga thing, but I wasn't supposed to be there. Oh. Oops. Okay, but yeah, we'll pause there. Andrew, you probably will just have to remind me at work tomorrow to go look up those rules, and then I'll probably do it immediately because that's more fun than work.
Yeah, it is.
More fun.
But
yeah. For some reason, when I told you about this proposition like a month ago of the idea of staying awake all night, like the thing that I could take that would make me not need sleep or food or anything, like whether or not I would get I kind of just jumped the gun and assumed that I would only get a level of exhaustion, but I never even considered the possibility that I wouldn't gain the additional benefits.
Yeah, I'll look. So you remind me, and we'll go from there.
Cool.
Okay. So where we're ending, I think we'll say that he probably talked about 2 hours or so. So you guys are starting to get into early evening time. Just so you know.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
hunt it next time.
Go ahead.
There were so many things I want to do with my wall of text skill. I want to do this grape thing. I want to convince him to give me like a Lysimile amulet to like. As this was an idea I had. If I could get him to give me a Lysimile token or something, and then like give it as a patronage to Misha, and if she would wear it, and then maybe I could follow her throughout a day, and that would provide some very interesting insights. But this skill is so useful, but I can only use it once a day.
Yeah. All right. So until I hear otherwise, the plan will be for meeting again in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Sure.
Cool. See you guys then.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.